Good evening, everyone. How's it going? Dominic here with your weekly Twitch stream. It's been a good week. It's been a busy week. Not too bad. I've had my birthday, had the Esports News UK 7th birthday drinks at Platform Bar in London. And I'll run through a little bit about how that went. And then got another event as well next week, happening next Saturday, if I'm correct. Let's have a look here. Next Saturday, I'll run through it. World's viewing party for the grand finals of the League of Legends World Championship. And today's stream, I'll obviously go through the weekly news, but I'll also I want to talk about some of the league teams that are leaving the NLC behind, specifically UK League of Legends teams, particularly like ones that have been around for years. MNM Gaming, supposedly, JD XL. We've had others leave, like Lucent from the lower divisions, and of course, earlier in the year we had a lot of other orgs leave as well, didn't we? Like Resolve and people like that. So I'm gonna pay tribute to them in this stream and maybe chuck the video on YouTube as well. Now I know Epic Land's going on and there's other bits and pieces going on, so some of our regular viewers will be at Epic Land. I was gutted I couldn't make Epic Land, to be honest. Sad again. UK League of Legends, what is going on with it? Sad that no UK League of Legends teams, not enough UK League of Legends teams signed up to attend Epic Land and to play at the Epic Land League of Legends tournament, so they scrapped it. So that was really sad. I mean, if we had 8, 10 or so League of Legends team taking part in Epic Land, I think I'd have made more of an effort to go. But it was pretty hard for me to get there as well, with the sandwich between two of my own events. It was pretty damn hard. But yes, let's run through what happened last week before I jump into the League of Legends stuff and the news and everything. I'm going to bring up some pictures here now. Jacob at Grayscale, who was there to help us do the 2v2 League of Legends tournament, he hasn't uploaded the pictures yet, so I can't go through it all in like a gallery, but I'm just going to bring up some pictures here. Now I know Kieran tweeted something out. I don't think I did tons of retweets. This was us setting up. This was at Platform. I was really happy because we had Lorks there who went on to win the tournament with Doctor, the 2v2 tournament. Grayscale setting up. Hello, iCrazy, how are you? We're just running through the... I'm just chatting about how the event went on Tuesday. We had 140 people sign up and 90 showed up, which I'm quite happy with that, to be honest, because you do get last minute dropouts. You usually do, 20, 30. Tickets were free, so I think for a future event, I might... if we do a pub quiz or we do something like that, I might charge £5 or £10 for a ticket and then give people a drink with that. So, it will just the money will go back into the event. But it means, I think, if you charge £5 or £10 for a ticket, I think people are more likely to show up or give the ticket to someone else and still attend and that kind of thing. I thought I retweeted loads of pictures from this. I obviously haven't, have I? Let's have a look here. I think maybe I might have put some pictures on the EN UK one. Let me scroll down. I will go through a lot of these articles and things that are going on. Here are some nice pictures. Grayscale, we had a great time hosting the 2v2 League tournament at the EN UK 7th anniversary drinks and networking event. Shout out to Atrox, Spongy Frog and KSM. Is that Syrah? I know it's Rory. Really nice event. Callum, of course, helped us at Insomnia, so I'm looking forward to seeing all the content. I had a duo partner in Nathan Edmonds, good old Nathan Edmonds, and we were the Boomer and Zoomer. Unfortunately, I let us down big time. We'll see if we had the match recorded. We were actually a pretty good 2v2. He was Malzahar, I was Lux, and we were actually a really good 2v2 for farming, and our CS we were way ahead, but my positioning, I had some awful positioning after about 5 minutes, and their team was, who was it? I think it was Annie and Wukong. They just flash ulted me and I was dead, and then we both died. So yeah, those are the winners, Doctor and Lorks, who won the 2v2 League of Legends tournament and had some cool Championship LeBlanc statues courtesy of Riot as prizes, which was cool. Zero, how's it going? Who's that guy? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they did well. I need to talk to them actually. I interviewed them afterwards. We have footage of me interviewing the winners, them two, and the runners up, and so I'll publish that on the YouTube at some point when it's all ready. iCrazy said, had a good day as we announced our Roma 6 team, and tomorrow hopefully to announce our Trackmania player. Oh, that's cool. I'm going to talk about Trackmania because we've got Into the Breach, one of the partner teams, aren't they, for the big league. Shame MNM didn't get picked for Trackmania partner program. Yeah, I was disappointed about that. I wrote about that in my article. No, they didn't. Let's talk about that now because, as usual, I have a pretty laid back approach to all this stuff. Let's bring this up here. My streams, I don't bother planning them. It's because it's just quicker for me to do this off the top of my head, and I just flit around from left to right, up, down, left, right, A/B start, and all that stuff. So yeah, Into the Breach, named partner team in Trackmania Grand League, and the game's adopted a 2v2 format. And I spoke to the founder of Into the Breach, Sam Cook. He's good old Sam. He always gives me a quote for an article, gives me something unique to add to the article. Now I was a little bit late with this news. I think this stuff was announced October 24th because of my event. My news has been a little bit slow, and I'm focusing a bit more on events. So, there was a time where I was just grinding 4 to 5 articles a day. I'm doing more like 2 to 3 weekdays, and then 1 a day on weekends, and just getting the balance right as well with my life as well, and spending time with my kids and everything. But anyway. Yeah, so I was a few days late with this news, but I got a quote from Sam. The partner teams for this big Trackmania Grand League ecosystem is Big from Germany, Solari and Carmine from France, BDS Sweden, Alliance Sweden, Gamers First USA. I don't know much about Gamers First. I think they're quite a new org. Sinners from the Czech Republic, and of course Into the Breach from the UK. Yeah, so it's a shame that MNM Gaming aren't in there, considering how well they've done over the years with Pack, the UK player. Into the Breach have their Polish player Mime, and their second player hasn't been announced yet. So Sam told me. Sam said this news is huge for us. We have extensive plans to make Trackmania a primary title for us and have every intention of ending 2023 as champions. We'll have top players, content creators, initiatives, tournaments and content generation to bring Trackmania to the mainstream. It's a super fun, intuitive game and very satisfying to watch. I'd hardly recommend everyone check it out, especially as it comes to PS4, 5 and Xbox soon. I didn't know that about the game. I thought it was already on consoles. It must be the newer version that isn't. So yeah, Into the Breach also said, because they said since our entry into the world of Trackmania in early 2022 with the signing of Mime, we've been one of the most active orgs within the game. Our efforts have not went unnoticed following our lineup's amazing results, including second at the Trackmania World Cup. We're delighted to announce we've been chosen as one of the 8 founder teams of the Trackmania World Tour. Yeah, so second player to be revealed soon, and you can see. I think I put a link to it here. Yeah, the Trackmania website here. They announced more info on the structure. So it's going to be, here we go. You're going to have the Grand League, which Into the Breach will be in those 8 partner teams. You've got the Challenger League below that. So tell me about the format, iCrazy. Can you qualify for the Challenger League? Because you've got regional tournaments as well. Right? If you do well in a regional EU tournament, can you make it to the Challenger League? And then above Grand League, you've got the World Championship as well. iCrazy says Trackmania is fun to be a part of. Zero says how they have a ton of players and at some points one of the best players in the world. I know, but there's more to it, isn't there? We don't know, right? We're going to talk about MNM Gaming in a bit anyway. One second, let me just bring up this thing about MNM. Here we go. When teams apply to be in the NLC, in the past. You know, Riot and Freaks for You or whoever else look at various things. It's not just quality of players, it's other things, financials and this and that and the other. Now, because we will come on to this in a bit, because M&M Gaming, now this article was by Megalodontus, who's done a lot of stuff for Esports News UK over the years. Now, he's in his report, Megalodontus has put, sources have told Blix the UK's current economic situation is the main reason for M&M's planned departure. As such, they have not entirely ruled out a return to League of Legends in the near future. You know, M&M have a lot of resources and focus on Rainbow Six, don't they? So who knows? But if this report is citing the economy, and you know prices going up and all of that stuff, it might be that M&M are focusing more on Rainbow Six Siege and not throwing as many finances in Trackmania. I don't know that. They're away this weekend, the M&M guys. I did let them know I'd be chatting about them on stream. But, yeah, you know, there's loads of reasons it can be zero, can't it? Loads of reasons. Crazy says G1 are massive in Halo. Trackmania has always been a PC game, to be honest. I don't know much about it. Yeah, it's weird. I want to say that there have been some Trackmania games on console in the past. I'm very surprised by that. No, maybe it is a new thing then. For some reason, I thought there was an old Trackmania game on consoles. Sure, there was. Here we go, Trackmania Turbo. This is an older game, isn't it? The Trackmania Turbo. Say when it come out. Yeah, 2016. Right, so it's not the first time, but it's the latest Trackmania, right? I don't know if this was an esporty title anyway, Trackmania Turbo, if this is more of a casual thing. I can't remember. I'm not a big Trackmania person. But yeah. So yeah, had a great event. There's more pictures here. The players in action. Kieran Holmes Darby, XL co-founder. And now at Formula E, played in the 2v2. We had Grant Russo, lots of people from UK League and so on, and some new faces as well. It was great to see, and you know, people coming up to me, and I was asking them, you know, meeting them for the first time, and do they follow Esports News UK? And they're like, yeah, of course, we like your stuff. And it just goes to show, you know, there is a vocal minority, and I have to remember I do have other readers beyond people who comment on Twitter and so on. You know, maybe people who are quiet or don't have a Twitter handle, and they like coming back to the site, and that's really nice. There's old me with young Nathan. Yeah, it was good fun. So hopefully I'll have more pictures and videos at some point to show you. And before I hop off here, actually I'll tell you what. Let's bring up a picture of the winners here as well. Here are the winners. Team Almost Doctors. So Doctor and Lorks won the 2v2, and they're lifting me up there. Crazy said it's going to be good for the esport to grow as the consoles will help it grow. Yep, completely agree with that. Zero said would have loved to have been there, but getting to London and back just wasn't viable with Christmas coming up. Yeah, understood. And Zero, I want to do more events in the future. I you know, my next few might be in London, but then I'd like to experiment. I'd like to go to other places. You know, maybe further north. Where are you based? Where's near you, Zero? Because we've got Pixel Bar in Leeds, haven't we? I'm sure I could do something there. We've got. Well, I'd obviously need to talk to them, but yeah, have a good relationship with the Pixel Bar guys. You know, there's Meltdown. Is there still Meltdown Sheffield? There's other places, isn't there? Side Quest, previously Wanyu. They've got a few places, and I don't even have to pick depends on the event, but I don't have to pick a gaming bar as well. I could use other venues depending on what the event is. Oh, there's nothing in the southwest. I've got family down in the southwest around Chippenham Way, you know, and I've got some friends in Bristol and stuff. Would you call that the southwest, or is that more the south? I'm hopeless with geography. But Bournemouth, I mean, like if you go south, I went to uni in Bournemouth, and I'm sure they must have a gaming bar or something, because that's quite a popular, you know, quite a packed out city these days. Edge of southwest, yeah. And the other thing I want to say as well, we had Don Jake doing guest casting.
We've seen this team multiple times during this tournament. Just for context, you've got Lords, he worked for a Spanish team as an analyst. We all know in esports, analyst is a fraud role. They steal paychecks, they don't do anything necessarily. He's also got Doctor, who's a color caster of innumerable fame. And they're up against two guys, I don't know too much about them. I'm looking at one guy that's got 400 games in Diamond. He's more stuff than those stepsisters in those videos you might watch online. Doctor's got 1,400 games though, so that's a bit technical as well.
So yeah, it was great to have guest casting. Also, Jackie, the CSGO caster, he was there. Shout out to Jackie. I watched his stream a little bit this week, him playing the new Modern Warfare 2. And yeah, here we go. Thanks also to Jackie for the guest announcements on the mic. So that was really nice. And I was joking to Jake and Jackie that they'd have to pop an invoice in the post because they usually charge for their voice, don't they, right, with the casting stuff. iCrazy says, Big Jake and Ruddy, they've been doing good things. Big up Jake and Ruddy. Yeah, they have. And, you know, they almost... I mean, let's talk about that as well because they almost beat Astralis this week, didn't they, in the NLC? If anyone was following that. I think I did a little clip here on the Monday or the Tuesday, whenever it was. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so they lost 2-1 to Astralis in the round of 16 in the NLC Aurora Cup. But they took a game off Astralis, and it was a great backdoor. Look at this, with Grayscale and soft casting.
One Nexus turret's already fallen. Senkux dies. This could be the end, my friend. The very end. Rifty will die. They'll give up their life, but for a good cause. No troll inhibs here, but Ruddy plays the series in an astonishing turn of events.
God, what has just happened? We actually go into game 3. Incredible performance from Ruddy that I am so surprised that they're able to find these engages. So creative from them. Props to them, honestly.
What did I just witness? One of my favourite comebacks I've ever got to see. Ruddy, the crowd pleasers, if nothing else, show that they can show up against the Giants.
So yeah, that was good. Torok, hello Torok. Torok in the chat. Should have won, honestly. At least game 1 should have been theirs. Yeah, and game 2, really, the game that they won. They weren't ahead, were they? They didn't look like they were going to win that. They somehow, the Astralis bot lane was miles ahead, and they somehow held on and you know, shut down the Chrisberg, I think it was, a couple of times to come back into the game. Absolutely amazing. Torok, it'd be great to talk about JD XL. Why don't we start talking about this stuff here, the NLC? Because I am sad. I am sad about all these UK orgs that have left the NLC over the past year. It is sad for me because, but on a personal note as well, I set up Esports News UK to shout about UK League of Legends and UK esports, and you know, whenever it was years ago, 2-3 years ago, when the NLC was set up, I think that did a great job of empowering the orgs to produce their own content, and NLC were doing good content on, you know, tables, results, memes, videos. I didn't really have to do as much as I did in the past anymore because you guys, the orgs and the NLC, were producing good content. But now, you know, I like that we're bridged with the Nordics, but now we're losing UK orgs, aren't we? We're losing a bit of the UK sort of identity. And I've had to sort of branch out as well. One of the reasons I write more about other esports rather than just UK League is, you know, the UK League stuff doesn't get a ton of views. I'll always cover it because it's my passion and it's important. I feel it's important to cover, but it doesn't get a ton of views. And I mean, you know, if you're breaking the stuff of roster leaks and things like that, and there's big players, you know, that come over every now and then, or big signings like Diamond Procs, that might do okay. But the general stuff and match reports, people don't really read it. They watch it, or they watch the VOD and all of that stuff. So yeah, it's sad for me to see all these UK orgs leaving. Now let's bring this up then. Just before I go into that, actually, because I was talking about the Esports News UK event. Just a real quick plug here, because we have another event taking place next Saturday. Now, hopefully, I'm going to talk about this really quickly here. So we've got a World's Grand Finals viewing party with Esports News UK and Predator Gaming. Again, that's taking place at Platform Bar in London, just around the corner from London Liverpool Street Station. And I'm looking forward because this is refurbished. It was a really nice event on Tuesday, really nice venue. They've got two 55-inch screens and a 65-inch screen. There's going to be some Riot giveaways at the event. And, there'll be drinks and everything. Now, it is a late one because of the time difference with the US. It's 10 p.m. next Saturday to 4 a.m. next Sunday. Now, obviously, if we have a straight we have a straight 3 games and one team's won 3-0 in quite quick succession, it won't go on right until 4 a.m. But the matches start at midnight, from what I understand, and I've double checked and triple checked that with Riot. Matches start at midnight UK time. Now, obviously, if people are going to stay that late, it might be hard getting home. I've booked a hotel. I know some people are booking, Ubers to go home, and that's for them cheaper than booking a hotel. So maybe I should have done that. I booked a taxi home, but I've booked that now, and we were good sign-ups. We've got about 45 people signed up to that already. So I'm not expecting as many turn up for this as what we had for our 7th birthday drinks, but 50, 60, 70, 80 people would be amazing. Now, I have been told there's blooming train strikes happening. I think November 3rd, which is next Thursday, November 5th, next Saturday, and then November 7th, which is a Monday, and we don't need to worry about for this event. So the Saturday, they may be affected. I'm waiting until Tuesday, I think it is. Then we'll know. I've checked Trainline earlier. We'll know exactly when the trains are going, because there should be a service on Saturday. It'll just be limited. But I'm talking to Platform about this on Monday to confirm. So hopefully it'll all still be fine. Blooming train strikes, eh? Worst possible time. How dare they interrupt the world's grand finals viewing parties in London. So this is on the Esports News UK website. If you want to come along, tickets are free, but they're limited. Again, it's first come, first served, and I didn't make a prominent shout about that with our other event. And a few people saying, "Oh, Dom, we didn't know we had to sign up," and blah blah blah. If you want to come, you need to sign up. Go on the Esports News UK website. Go to it's the top featured post. And then there's an Eventbrite link at the bottom. And it's 18 plus as well, of course, because it's a bar and everything. So, you can check that out. Just reserve a spot and you can come along. So, we've got a few, like I say, I think 40, 45 is a good amount, but we've got another week to push this. So, looking forward to it. Officer Naughty, how's it going? Have you talked about MNM yet? Did I miss it? No, you're here on time this time, Officer Naughty. I've been waffling a bit. I've been talking about our viewing parties and the birthday event we had on Tuesday, and some other bits and pieces, Trackmania, and we've just been chatting. But I'm about to jump into all that stuff. Zero said only about Trackmania. Okay, thank you. iCrazy says UK LOL fans come to UK CES. Yeah, and I want to do other events on other games as well. MQS, how is it going, MQS? Dom, you're not making a case for not being a massive Tory there. Yeah, do you know what? I had this last time I got this. Let me just change the camera here. Last time I got this and where I started waving this, I got accused of being a Tory, right? Even if I am a Tory, why does I'm pro UK esports, right? It's nothing to do with that, but I'm not a Tory. I'm a million blooming miles away from being a Tory, so don't start that nonsense again. But I'm gonna say what's the right word? Bittersweet sort of farewell, a sad farewell to MNM Gaming, JD XL, Lucent, leaving the NLC recently, but then joining the others that have left. Resolve. I mean, there's been so many, hasn't there, over the past year? I've been lost track of the others. How many others left? London esports were swallowed by X7, weren't they? Rest in peace, guys, and I hope to see you back in League of Legends someday. And on that note, with Torok in the chat, let's start off with some memes, shall we? Because I think you guys probably would have already seen this, but I loved the tweet you put out, Torok. Now let's try and find this. I think I tweeted it on my account. Let's have a look here. Here we go. So Torok did this, UK League of Legends.
Bring out today. Here's one. Ninepence. I'm not dead. What? Nothing. Here's your ninepence. I'm not dead. There. He said. ninepence.
I'm not dead.
What?
Nothing. Here's your ninepence. I'm not dead.
Here. He says he's not dead.
Yes, he is. I'm not.
He isn't?
Well, he will be soon. He's very ill. I'm getting better. No, you're not. You'll be stone dead in a moment.
Oh, I can't take him like that. It's against regulations.
I don't want to go on the car. Oh, don't be such a baby.
I can't take him.
I feel fine. Well, do us a favour.
I can't.
Well, can you hang around a couple of minutes? He won't be long.
No, I've got to go to Robinson's. They've lost 9 today.
Well, when's your next run?
Thursday.
You think I'll go for a walk? You're not fooling anyone, you know. Look, isn't there something you can do? I feel happy. I feel happy. Ah, thanks very much.
That's all.
Sorry, it was Ducky that made it. I didn't realise. Yeah, I love that. Now, I can't remember if this is Life of Brian or if it's a Holy Grail. I want to say Life of Brian. Either way, Monty Python, I love those films. Really funny. And they inspired a lot, didn't they? Elden Ring, you know, Dark Souls, Demon Souls, the blooming outfits and things, the Praise the Sun stuff is based on the King Arthur thing from the Holy Grail. So yeah, I love those. Really good. And then also, Ruddy Esports quote tweeted this, so I'll play this as well. This is from Old Boy, another great film. The scene where the main character's taking on loads of people. So I'll just play this as well.
Oh, come for the peas that you stack and come for all the food that you block. Better hand over the bags. Your boys don't when they see you shot. If I kick down the door to your flat, damn no, I clear out your house to the spot. Clear all the things in the house. Clear all the things in the fridge. Smash all your plates on the rack. Clear all your kids' toys. Clear all your CD rack. Won't get none of your CDs back. Oh, come for the peas.
So yeah, and I think Ruddy make a good point there, saying Ruddy blowing backs out and also saving the UK scene one content piece at a time. Hashtag it means more, hashtag up the Ruddy. For while we have all these teams leaving, we have the rise of Ruddy, who are UK, and Lions Creed have been linked with a move, haven't they? It's been reported they're going to take Enrique's spot. So we have lost some UK League teams, but we've got two, I think, good London-based sides coming in. And for me, as someone who's a East Ender, well, only for the first 3 years of my life anyway, and I've got family there still, I like to see that the London boys representing. I know Lions Creed have had mixed things over the years, but I'm hearing some interesting things they're doing. Weeby McWeeb Face, thank you for following. Great name. I you know, from what I've heard about Lions Creed, watch this space. I will just say as well before we jump into more of that stuff. So on Lions Creed, expect more partnerships and things like this. I've seen this. I wrote this. He sent me a press release earlier in the week. Lions Creed expanding to the north of England via a partnership with host Salford. So that's this Home of Skills and Technology space at Media City in Manchester, and yeah, it says we're proud to host. Proud to announce Lions Creed has developed a strategic partnership with host Salford to create a beacon for esports in the north of the UK. State-of-the-art broadcast venue provides the ideal area to continue growing our Lions Creed community. Providing us with a location for future online events, tournament stage, partnership options, blah blah blah. So that's I think that's pretty positive. And shout out to Lions Creek. They're doing an event tonight as well. So a few people that usually tune into my streams are at this Halloween event they're doing. I couldn't make it this weekend. I've been doing my own Halloween stuff with my kids, which has been pretty fun. So yeah, watch that space. Officer Naughty says, as much as I love the Lions Creed guys, they always announce announcements and never do anything big. From what I've seen, maybe different now. I know what you mean, Officer Naughty. They have been doing announcements of things, but I'm still hearing things, and I hope that what I'm hearing will come to pass. Weebface says, "Hey, I'm Ellis +1 and half of Team Gremlin." Ah, right, okay. When you say Ellis is +1, is that Ellis from? Not Ellis from Lucent. Is this another Ellis who came on the Tuesday, just gone to the event? Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, although I'm sad about Orgs leaving, we do have others coming up. So I'm going to jump back to this because I first wrote this story October 17th. Now, this was based on the news that Wooloo broke. I think it was Wooloo, wasn't it? LEC Wooloo, saying that XL will not have an academy team next year. They're leaving the NLC. They're leaving Polaris and Valorant, which is the Valorant regional league for Northern Europe. The main reason is the British org wants to focus on Tier 1 competition. I reached out to XL and did some digging, and it basically stood up what they were saying. And then XL, I mean, I've already done this on the stream last week. XL's Tim Reichardt, the COO, basically reiterated that, and we ran through this last week, right? While they're stepping away, they want to focus on Tier 1. They want to... Tier 1, and they're looking for the sale. Criticise the Ascension format in Valorant. They are going to get a women's Game Changers team, and progress of LEC roster building, and they've got this new space in Berlin as well. I didn't touch on that much. That looks pretty cool, actually. Because Fnatic have their own thing, don't they, in Berlin? This new thing they had a few months ago. And MNM haven't spoken publicly. I have reached out to the MNM guys, and I think if all this stuff is true, it's something they would announce in their own time, and I respect that. I'm not really a journalist that just jumps on things and just writes things. I like to wait for announcements. Not always, it depends what it is. Obviously, I've written about this before the announcements have happened. But like I say, the M&M Gaming one, there's this brief report Megalodontus wrote for Blix, saying the economic situation is the main reason for their planned departure, but they haven't entirely ruled out a return to League of Legends in the near future. Now, I've heard other things as well that I can't talk about yet. We're in... some people call silly season, right? There's going to be things changing. I've heard other orgs maybe leaving the NLC, multiple orgs leaving. So multiple orgs are in talks at the moment with other orgs, selling spots in the NLC, orgs coming in, buying spots. We've spoken about Lions Creed maybe getting Enrique's. There's others I've heard. It's all up in the air at the moment, so I don't really want to say the specific orgs because it's all up in the air and it can change. But I've heard some interesting things, and we'll see what happens. I don't know if I can say this, but yeah, I think there's a press thing coming up. Riot are doing a press announcement at some point, so I've marked that in my diary, and that's going to be some like press announcement. So I'm expecting in that announcement there might be any ERL or LEC or any other changes. Who knows? So watch this space later in November, because I think we're going to hear more about this kind of stuff. Oh, Ellie Bear, sorry. Ellie Bear's +1. Oh, yeah, nice to meet you the other day. And I felt bad for you with the blooming round 1 of the tournament. Look, hey, I went out in round 1 as well. It wasn't easy. But yeah, I hope you had fun. How did you find it? Our Crazy says, I wish Lions Creed done more as their brand isn't strong enough. MQS says XL Resident Sleeper. Zero says no idea who'd buy an NLC slot at the moment, to be honest. Don Jake says Ruddy in Div 1, I heard. Hey, you heard it here first. Officer Naughty, until things change, the spots won't go for big money. Yeah, and I've been hearing, I don't want to say, because I leave it to the orgs, let them find the best sales for them, and all of that stuff. McWeebface says, was a blast, thank you, defo going to follow her to future events. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, and it's shout out to Ellis. Ellis has been a good supporter of Esports News UK. We've had good chats, and I appreciate your support as well. So, do you know what? Because this has happened, and I thought the other day, when I saw your tweet, Torok, that Ducky did, the Bring Out the Dead thing, it made me think, well, I need to do something to pay tribute to these orgs. And I was thinking, if it was a couple of years ago and I didn't have much time to do Esports News UK, I probably would have written a quick opinion piece saying, here's all the great stuff they've done, like, I don't know, top 5 moments of each org. And I might still do that. Let me make a note of that, actually, because a throwaway stream like this might not, be easy to find in the future. But if I do an article JD XL leaves, MNM leaves is their top 5 moments. I think that will be better through Google. So let's go through this together. Let's grab a drink or whatever, and we'll go through some history together. And maybe you guys will learn some things as well, because I've been doing this for 7 years now, and XL have changed a lot in those 7 years. Let me make a note of this article. Okay. I'll do both at the same time, and Lucent as well. I'm going to do Lucent as well, because although they weren't in Div 1, they're still stepping away at a similar time. And yeah, so I will say as well, just before I jump ahead, other orgs that have moved, right? This follows last year. We had Fnatic Rising, didn't we, leave for Spain? Absolved, disappeared because they were absolved by X7. Tricked departed when Astralis Talent took their slot. Double O Nation, formerly Nordavind, dropped out. Whoops. Dusty, oh god, where's this gone now? Dusty took their spot. Enclave left the NLC ecosystem as well. They were a UK org, as did Cova, Nox, Envision, Godsent, Galaxy Racer, and Granite Gaming. There's been a lot of changes, hasn't there, over the past year? A hell of a lot when Freaks for You were announced as a tournament organiser. So let's not forget that. Yeah. And what I have heard as well about NLC is that with all these orgs, slots changing and all this stuff, I think Freaks for You are keen to have at least one org per region in the Nordics and Northern Europe. So that's a puzzle game they've got to figure out, right? So they won't want 8 UK teams, because then it's not NLC, right? It's not Northern Europe. So there's only ever really going to be 2 to 3 or 4 UK and Ireland teams in Div 1 anyway. And who are in? Did Natives got promoted, didn't they, to Div 1? I think I should know this, guys, shouldn't I? Yeah, there we go. I did the article a month ago. It was Natives. Who's the second team that got promoted? Is it or is it just one? It's just one team, isn't it? Yeah, that was the it's just one team. So Natives, at least we've got some Irish representation in there. At least we've got that. So let's go back then. I mean, there's multiple ways I can do this. I'm thinking of going through the history of posts on the Esports News UK website. I won't show the back end because it's a bit fiddly, but I'm going to type in Excel. Let's see here, and I'm going to jump right to 800 items on Esports News UK mentioning Excel Esports. 800 over the 7 years I've been doing this. Now I don't think that's 800 articles. No, it's going to include because I had my site as a blog before I turned it into Esports News UK. So I'm looking at things here from before it was Esports News UK, when it was like just my little blog. Okay, let's have a look here. I don't even know if you can see this actually. Let me see if... No, you can't see the headlines that well. Let me pick them out and then I'll bring them through. So that's 2016. Let's go back even further to 2015. And we'll do anything I can see of XL, MNM, a bit of Lucent as well. So bear with me. I know I could have done this beforehand, right? But it takes too long. I'll just wing it. Let's see. This looks like it might have been one of the first articles I've done. I mean, 7 years. We're older than 7 years as well. This was September 2015. Let's bring up some of these here. Going back to Choke Gaming. Manolite. Now I'm gonna talk about Manolite because they have a lot of history with MNM Gaming, because MNM got most of their roster at one point. So we'll talk about that. Just trying to find. There we go. Right, that's page 29. Okay. ESL UK postpones October League of Legends Premiership games after Null forfeit match. Because Null, this is weird, right? Null, the university esports body, one of the two in the UK, they fielded their own team League of Legends team in the ESL UK Premiership, which was basically what NLC is now, but just UK. And apparently XL are in here somewhere. Here we go. This is the first. This looks like it's the first report I wrote that mentioned XL here. Exertus Esports versus XL Esports match result. Exertus picked up a 2-1 victory over XL, putting them level on points with Choke FM and Team Infused. XL surrendered at 20 at the first game and fought back in game 2 to beat Exertus 26-13 in a 40-minute match. XL Ped, shout out to Ped, who I used to have a laugh with Ped. I don't know, he's not playing anymore, he's not in esports. There we go, current standings. Look at that, guys. That's an old table from the ESL UK Premiership in September 2015. And that's what I remember XL as. Now, listen, they've only played 3 matches at that point. But this is where I remember XL were. Look at that old logo there. Look at that thing. Oh, zooming in ain't going to do much here, is it? Hopefully you can see that old XL logo there. That's where I remember XL Esports. When I first started covering the scene, that's where they were. They were in the bottom quarter of the table most of the time. Let me catch up on this. Officer Naughty says, do you remember the leaving video I made for Diabolus when they left? Oh, God. No, I don't think I do. No, I don't. Now, is this when Diabolus left, or is it when they stopped being an org because they moved into World of Warcraft stuff, didn't they? I think this was around the time when my twins were being born, and I didn't have much time, Officer Naughty. So if you find it, feel free to DM me the link, Alex, and I'll bring it up on stream. Absorbed, sorry, yeah, not absolved. Absorbed is what I meant to say, Don Jake. Was Barrage on that list? Yeah, Barrage were acquired by Resolve, who then left. Don Jake says, just make a UK ERL with Northern Europe players. Yeah, X7 acquired Bulldog as well. Look at that, all UK, yep. One thing I want to say as well, guys, I'm reading a book at the moment. Well, the audio book. It's David Dean, who's he was a director at Arsenal or vice chairman or something like that, and he did so much good stuff to push football forward in the UK. And he was also one of the people who helped launch the Premier League, and they broke away from the Football League. And back then, in the audio book, I wanted to do a tweet on this. The UK, we were not a leading force in football. I know we've got a lot of football heritage here, but he said at the time, this would have been late 80s, early 90s, I think he said it was Italy and Spain that had the best leagues in football in terms of views, money generated, top players, all of that stuff. Then, they launched the Premier League. They made a few tweaks. They did things that were forward-thinking that the Football League, the existing Football League, were too scared or too stuck in their ways, and loads of old people on the board, on the team, that didn't want to do that stuff. And the Premier League led the way. They did things like put name and number on the back of players' shirts. They struck the broadcast rights sale with Sky, and initially it was ITV, and giving a split to all the teams in the league. It's just simple stuff like that. And the Premier League, we are miles ahead, right? And so, for me, there's no reason why we can't do a similar thing in esports. After, yes, it's different. I know League of Legends is different. We've got all these different tiers. Spain and France are miles ahead. But it's difficult, isn't it? You'd think, well, if we can attract big talent to the UK, sure, we'd get more views. If we had Reckless and other people, we'd get more views. But then I think, well, we've had Fnatic Rising, we've had people like Forbidden and Diamond Procs and things like that, and we're still behind Spain and France. But if they can do that with football, I still think we can make improvements in the NLC personally. Anyway, I'm going on a waffle here. So yeah, this is one of my first articles. Now this stream could be quite long because I've got loads of articles here. FN, stay top of ESL Prem. XL Game 3 stats, that's disappeared. some of these images have disappeared here, haven't they? Oh, look at this. Here's an old roster for XL Esports. XL Billy. Oh no, it's Maldo. XL Pen. Hi, I'm Icy. And XL Exabyte. Anyone remember them? Jokerism. These old names that I remember covering. There we go. Look. Standings. XL Esports. 0 points after 4 matches. 7th. This is where I remember them. Right, this is where I remember them. So, yeah. I could go on massive tangents here, so I'm not going to go too deep, but some of this stuff will be interesting to look at and see how things have changed or not. This was one of the first articles I did that did pretty well, actually. Tundra, an old player. Now, I want to bring this up, Manolite here. Zero says, yeah, but what are other leagues too afraid to do right now? Yeah, I don't know. It's a good point. I mean, NLC has tried a lot of things. Oh, Officer Naughty says he sent me. Should we jump ahead to when Diabolus left? Hang on. 1 second. Let's close this down. Just bring this up. DMs. So this was when Diabolus left.
Yeah. Just.
Okay, hang on. Let's play this here. So this was December 2019. My twins had just been born, so I was disappeared. I was in another world of no sleep and all of that stuff.
Hey DBL. Just read the news. The 2 pages. Really sad news. Genuinely, to lose an org that actually invested some resources in the UK. So yeah, it's sad to lose an org like that, and I really hope you achieve whatever you want to achieve with the other games you're going to be in. I'm now going to list 10 things that I really liked about Diabolus. So the first thing is I really liked all the
I think I do remember seeing that, actually, Officer Naughty. I feel bad bringing this up on stream because I think some people thought I was anti-Diabolus. I never was. I always wanted like UK orgs to succeed. I do remember seeing that, actually. Now, I guess you baited them. Yeah. Officer Naughty says the video isn't my best work. It takes too long to get to the point. No, I think it's all right. 40 seconds. No, I think it's all right. Let me bring up, where was I here? So I want to talk about Manolite. Because there was this org that came along and actually got a pretty good roster together, and I quite like their branding and everything. Manolite looking for League of Legends team, want to become best in UK and crack Europe. They said they want to knock Infused off the throne in the UK. Infused were the team to beat. They had Max Law, they had Alfari and other good players that have gone on to do good things. So that was the early Manolite article, November 2015. So yeah, 7 years ago. Bloody hell, where's that time gone? Lessons to be learnt from ESL Prem. I won't go too much into this stuff because we can go off on a massive tangent, even though it does look interesting. God, this is page 38 out of 40. Hang on a minute. Let's have a look here. Preview. No. Let's go back. Here. The annoying thing is how it works on my site is that oh yeah, Excel almost fall apart. Let's look at this one here. How it works is that if I search for articles about XL, it doesn't just find articles that are XL in the headline. It finds every article on my site that has XL anywhere in the body copy. So this may take a little time to look through here. I'm up to coming up to like 2017 now, end of 2016, start of 2017, which isn't too far before XL got to the LEC. Alright, here we go. I've got some MNM ones here as well. UK Masters we can talk about. Right, here we go. Look, I've got here MNM Gaming win the ESL Prem. This was 2016, October 2016. Let's bring that up. Let's have a look at these ones here. So this was a meme someone made. Last Remedy were an org that was set up who had Grant Russo working for them, and also Just John, the coach who went on to work for XL and is now in the French league, working in the French league with Solari. And Grant Russo is with Falcons now, I think, and he has been with Guild, hasn't he, and other orgs. Choke Gaming pulled out of the Prem. Then they changed their mind and were ready to enter the Prem, only to drop out for sure over the weekend. I mean, this is what UK League was like back in the day. This is how qualifying looked before Choke pulled out. Look, I've called them Molotovs and Marshmallows there. Well, actually, this would have been pulled from the ESL website. Look, they've still got a page on the ESL Play website here. Look at this. Registered since 26th of September 2015. Molotovs and Marshmallows Gaming, or MNM, is an esports org that launched in January 2014. We're a UK-based organisation that supports players across the European continent. ESL Prem 2017 group stages. These are the latest matches, I guess, before the Forge Champions and the UKLC and all of that was set up. So, yeah, look at that. Oh wow, I don't remember Terracotta Army being that high up. TCA, they're a now defunct org. You got M&M second, Choke third, XL fourth, Perilous Void and a few others. Matt Loftus is now with EA. Look, he worked at ESL UK. Here, there's some groups they had here. Seeding changes, drama. XL had some of their players leave right at the last minute. Support player Nutri left for Last Remedy, and top laner Sama told the org he wouldn't be able to play regularly due to school commitments. XL coach Barnetto, good old Barnetto, said in a tweet longer, I can't realistically do anything to stop Nutri leaving, no matter how salty I might be. He did this is from 6 years ago. Barnetto saying the mess that is XL lol. I mean, this was before LEC. This was before all of that. In a way, I think this may have been part of the catalyst for XL Esports turning the corner. This drama that happened where some of their players left them at the last minute. ESL, to my knowledge, knew nothing of our roster troubles other than we might need a sub and top laner, which they agreed to. We reseeded and rescheduled into Group B, meaning our first game would be in a couple of weeks. And then I've done a tweet on team roster changes, blah, blah, blah. Last Remedy apologised to the UK scene following the last minute roster changes and taking players from other teams at the last minute. I've put here, it's been a disastrous 24 hours. Let's hope XL can somehow stay in the Prem and keep away teams together. I'm pretty sure they did, eventually. I'm pretty sure they did. This was from Jan 2017. ESL Prem team roster roundup and preview. GLB Esports, Team Zenix. Here we go. XL here, they changed their logo at this point. Tolkien, top. Nocturnal Plex, Jungle, Ziviz, mid. Jokerism, ADC. Orcs, support. There is Orcs, back when he was a player. I don't remember the coach and analyst here. Yummy, Friendly, Greasy Dr. Meat, player dev coach, and Crowlux, manager. M&M Gaming, here we go. Deadly. Wow, I don't remember Deadly playing for M&M Gaming. There we go. We're doing some. This is a UK League of Legends history lesson here, guys. Dated rhymes. Evening. How are you doing, Matt? Zero says time to stop using the verb excel or talk about the Microsoft Office program. This is before my time on M&M. There we go. Officer Naughty. Yeah. Look, we had Haddo support, Jordan Walsh coach, Deadly ADC, Charlie T mid, Candy Floss jungle, Tiempo top. Now Tiempo, that's Rifty. I'm pretty sure that was Rifty who changed his name. And Candy Floss, who knows who Candy Floss is? Torok's got it. now head coach for Misfits this year as well. Yes, he sort of rebranded from Candy Floss when he stopped being a player and became a coach. He's Carter, right? Coach Carter now. So yeah, I don't know where he's going to be actually. With Misfits selling their spot to Heretics. Yeah, well, let's see where he goes next. So yeah, that's just looking back on some of these rosters here. Beeley for Enclave, Reclamation, Bulldog. Had a few here. Nix, Fawkes, Fax, Archie, Team Paria. Had Schicklin as a sub. Yeah, look at all these old players and stuff like that. And then here, MNM and District March Honours, Lowell, UK Masters heats up. Week 4 and 5 recap. I don't do these week 4 weekly recaps because people don't really read them anymore. But I want to talk about this one because this is the UK Masters. This was another tournament that had a lot of sort of prominence in UK League back in the day. I actually thought it was really well run. I enjoyed the UK Masters. I think it was Insomnia, the guys behind Insomnia Gaming Festival that did this. I can't remember now. Or it might have even been... Yeah, it was Game, wasn't it? It was Game at the time. There we go. Might we play? It was bought by Game at this point. XO Esports versus Bulldog. This is from November 2016. I've forgotten how old Bulldog were. XO came into this as favourites. Won the first game. Game 2 saw Bulldog fight back. But XL managed to scrap this truly epic second game to take the series 2-0. Who's casting this?
Being used to try and slow him down. Bulldog's going into the fight. A little bit isolated. Scanner Week is being Jokerism is the focus of Nix. Will go down and Scudzy tries to pick him up himself. Exhaust is being used, but Scudzy will find the kill as Lucchesi is left to fend for himself. Tolkien just needs to get that Q onto Sir. Picks up an easy kill. Goes on to draw a blank. Equilibrium strike, but he can't use that twice as Scudzy is now forced to use the Ghost to counter the On the Hunt to get himself out.
Anyone want to guess who those casters are? I figured it out.
Decrepify, was it?
Decrepify.
Being used to try and slow him down. Bulldog's going into the fight. A little bit isolated. Scanner Week is being Jokerism is the focus of Nix. Will go down and Scudzy tries to pick him up himself. Exhaust is being used, but Scudzy will find the kill as Lucchesi is left to fend for himself. Tolkien just needs to get that Q onto Sir. Picks up an easy kill. Goes on to draw a blank. Equilibrium strike, but he can't use that twice.
Zero, you got one. It's Medic and Not Sure. Now, the person who's casting with Medic doesn't cast League anymore. Works for an agency, I think. I'll give a few more bit of time to people to guess. MNM versus UK Legends. MNM, the ESL UK Premiership Summer Split winners, now looking to take their place in the EU Challenger Series. Because, of course, this is back in the day where the ESL Prem and other regional leagues, you'd qualify for the EU Challenger Series qualifiers, right? And then if you got to the Challenger Series, then you could qualify for the EU LCS, as it was back in the day. And that's what Misfits did. They were Renegades Banditos. They made it through and then got bought new owners to Misfits. MNM pushed on and took game 2 to end the series 2-0 and keep the pressure on District. So yeah, that was at MNM. Oh look, MNM versus XL. Two of the UK Masters' most informed teams took to battle on the Rift. Game 1 did not end the way anyone watching it thought it would. MNM won the series by a 20-minute FF from XL, ending the first game of the week in a flash. Much closer game 2 from MNM and XL, but finished the same way as game 1, with MNM taking the series in a clean 2-0, putting the pressure on District to perform later in the week. So yeah, some stuff there. And then I want to cover this here. Oh, and the other caster was Trid. Trid used to cast League, he used to cast Overwatch. He went into more Overwatch after League, but he's now working at Hot Drop. Tom Underwood, his name is. But yeah, Medic started out in the UK Masters. Here we go. Here's a bit of history that I wanted to talk about. And this when I think of MNM Gaming, this is what I think of this era. They used to go to LANs. I used to go to LANs. You know, back then I hadn't become a dad at that point, so I had more time to go and cover things really extensively. And my site was just UK League, so that's all I covered really. My time wasn't split with other things. But look at the people in that photo there. You've obviously got Cal and Javelin, Dan, the co-founders of MNM. You've got Jordan Walsh, who was the coach, Haddo, support, Larson, mid. Look at that. in that photo, people most likely to be famous. I don't know. I wouldn't have guessed Larson, really. I thought XD Smiley was a good ADC as well. I think he's still playing in ERLs. Furion, Haddo. I can't remember. I think this is the top laner here. I can't remember the top laner. I may have written... this was before I started writing player names out. After that, I used to make sure I wrote all the player names. Hang on a minute.
Let's see if he's going to be able to survive this one. The answer is no. He gets removed from the map. So does Jet. This might just be it.
Only
the
Angel.
Nexus towers are
That's
falling.
it.
The Nexus itself is not long for the rip. Deadly just trying to distract at this point, but it's a triple kill for Smiley. And there we have it. What a game to finish off our second semi-final.
So that was a semi-final. But yeah, this is what I remember here, and I interviewed them after the match. Look at that trophy as well, this weird Baron Nashor trophy. Yeah, sorry, Don Jake, Only Angel, you're right. Trid Des in Overwatch. Yep, John Allen and Blanks. The League LAN was a bit more popular then. Yeah, yes and no, Officer Naughty, because back earlier this year, when they had Insomnia at Insomnia 68, that was really well attended. Really well attended, the league finals. I couldn't believe it. Like, it was damn good. I don't know if they got lucky. It was on the main stage as well, right? And it wasn't too late. It wasn't shoved too late. It was a good time, and it was pretty well attended. But yeah, you're right. It was good. I think that might have been at I think that event, it might have been, there we go, MCM London Comic Con, right? So you had a lot of people sort of walking past going, oh, what's this? And they'd just come in and watch, sit down and watch. Hello, Megalodontus, how are you? Oh, M&M Heart, I take it Dom talked about my report then. Yeah, we did, yeah. We're just going back. I'm going back through, like, chronological, any articles I can find about M&M and XL and Lucent, we're sort of going through them. I might be here a while, because I think there's a lot, to be honest. But, yeah, M&M Gaming won this ESL Prem. I think this was the first ESL Prem that they won. They reached the Challenger Series qualifiers. Yeah, and so I've missed a bit of history here. Manolite folded, and the roster was picked up. Most of the roster was picked up by M&M Gaming. Furion, Larson, Smiley, and Haddo. I don't think Rifty went to M&M. I can't remember. I may have been there a little bit. And then you had coaches Frozen Dawn and Rob Allen. Shout out to those guys. But yeah, this guy who set up Manolite, David Bird, he said he spent 9 months and 35 grand of his own money. Found ourselves in a position where the monthly cost of running the org was spiralling, and the expectation of sponsorship funding simply didn't come through. Some things haven't changed there, have they, really? Yeah. Look at that old tweet from Larson there. Unlucky that CS roster lock was yesterday and Manolite dropped us today. Hey, it happens. I had this vlog on that as well. Look, young Dom. Well, younger Dom. Still haven't got hair back then, but yeah. Yeah, I like this little video here because I was at the front, so I just filmed. I mean, this sometimes gets picked up by broadcast right here, but this is the moment M&M won the ESL UK League of Legends Premiership at MCM Comic Con in 2016. I hope that's not too loud.
That sounds like fun. Here we go though, Adam actually gets a knock-up onto Sawyer, but no follow really available. Alan still has his ultimate, so won't be going down anytime soon, and only Angel about to hit Meganar. EB needs to be careful on that one, but there's no fight coming out from M&M. They're not bothered about the fight. They're not bothered about bringing this to EB. They won't allow EB to drag them down to the skirmish level. They're just looking for objectives.
Who would know Larson would go on to be playing at Worlds, eh? With Rogue and everything. Absolutely amazing. And I really like their togetherness. I think I wrote an opinion piece at one point of about like the togetherness that MNM had, and yeah, they were. You could tell they were mates and stuff. Like, we don't always get this on stage. We don't always get this now. What I liked about the MNM back then as well is that the roster stayed together for quite a long time, and that's what I wanted to see. There's Matt Loftus on stage. That's what I wanted to see, and I really wished we had more of that. I understand why we don't. You know, players will just go where they get paid, and they just chop and change every season. But I like this roster because they were together. I do think for a couple of splits at least that year, maybe even 3 seasons. I remember Larson being there quite a long time. So yeah, you can see Rifty was on the other team, Epiphany Bolt. I remember talking to Rifty about that, and he said, Dom, I couldn't believe they just had these random, really rubbish, like, printed T-shirts they gave us. They weren't like esports jersey; they were just really rubbish. Matt Andrews there, a good host. Yes, there you go. And I did interview them as well. Actually, I think I published it after this. I did do an interview. Let's have a look at some other articles here. So that's what I remember of MNM Gaming. And then XL Esports went into the Gfinity Elite Series. Now 2017, that wasn't in League of Legends, so I won't cover that out. I won't cover that too much. Look at this here. Look at this. Like, we're moaning about views and stuff. This is from 2017. ESL LoL Premiership pulls in a record 21,000 viewers as Zenix secure first place. Tonight's ESL Premier League Legends matches peaked at more than 21,000 viewers on Twitch. I mean, we don't get that much now, do we? Right, and the reason being, it was the main ESL LoL channel began hosting the UK stream straight after it had finished streaming into Extreme Masters. So you had a lot of viewers of watching into Extreme Masters back when we had League of Legends at IEM, just stayed on watching the UK scene. How cool was that? But the numbers stayed up. I remember that when it happened. You didn't just have it dropping like slowly from 21,000 all the way down to like whatever 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,000. It stayed up to around like 18,000, which is cool. So people were watching it. You know, I think people will watch stuff. You just got to get them into it. Prosper did a message saying a play from Bulldogs drove away 7,000 viewers. Wow, so Larson was playing with Candy Floss at one point here. MNM tearing apart Enclave Gaming. Ziviz and XL beat GLB. Let's have a look at these rosters here. Oh, hang on. Yeah. So this roster here I can see. Oh yeah, Rifty, Candy Floss, Larson, Lades and Haddo for MNM, and XL had, let's have a look here.
Down that raid boss and secure the
Can't see
victory.
it that well here. Tolkien, Nocturnal Plex, Ziviz, Jokerism and Orcs. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier, didn't I, that roster. Here we go, and here's some standings. This is back in, when was this? This is 2017. Yeah, this is February 2017. So you can see XL moving up. They were no longer a bottom table side anymore at this point. They were pushing on. Zenix, I can't remember which roster Zenix had here, but they were doing quite well. And then you've got MNM and XL, Bulldog, Enclave, and a few others below. So yeah, now I'm going to keep looking at articles here. I'll try and pick up the pace a little bit. There's a lot to look through. Memes of the year. Let's bring that up. I used to do like memes of the month things. Let's keep looking for stuff here. Misfits versus Giants. What we got? What are we saying in the chat? NLC summer peak was 14k, but it wasn't really 14k. 14k Kappa. first 4 LoL teams have qualified for the ESL Autumn Premiership. I'll tell you what, if I search and replace for MNM, oh no, that's not going to work. Oh, here we go. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of articles here, so it might take me a little while to get onto some of these. I'm just looking for victories. I'm on page 32 out of 40 out of all these articles about MNM and oh, here we go. This is a good one here. I61 winners roundup. Let's have a look. I should probably search for XL with the 2 letters XL as well, because some headlines I put them in as XL, not the word, but the 2 letters. There we go. Right, I'm down to 30 now, so I'm a quarter of the way through. Let's have a look here. I've got memes of the year. I won't go too much into this actually, because it's going to be too much. Broxar from UK Scene has been promoted to Fnatic's first team, and British player Dan Hockley from Mouse Sports will replace Broxar in the academy side for Fnatic. So yeah, that happened early 2017. That's not MNM and XL, is it? Why am I talking about that? It's the Autumn Premiership. Orc said, I'm determined to get to LAN and put up a fight, and he actually went on to win that Insomnia with XL. So this is an interview I did with Orcs on XL. Medic made his LCS debut. MNM pick up qualified teams. So MNM, this was in the UK Masters early 2017. XL, you can see they've got Inax at this point. I really like Inax. I think Inax has improved a lot. Crewmill, Taxa, Shikari and Orcs. MNM had Rifty, Candy Floss, Energy Sus, Toaster and Adam. This is when they picked up Toaster. And again, I was still doing match reports and things like that. UK Masters, Nerd Rage. Why have I put a picture of a bloody Master System in there? I don't know what I'm doing there. I don't know what that means. Is that an in-joke? I can't remember. MNM beat Phoenix 2-0. XL beat Barrage 2-0. This is summer of 2017 in the UK Masters. More wins for MNM in the UK Masters. I won't do a lot of this week's stuff. Here we go. This is something I remember. Lag at LAN. Packet lost problems. Plague Premiership playoffs as MNM suffer shock semi-final defeat. Nerd Rage. I remember Nerd Rage. Yeah, I remember going to this and being disappointed. Look, there weren't many people there, really. I might have taken... there weren't many people there. But this was the Autumn 2017 finals. This was at EGX, I think. Yeah, EGX. Packet lost lag problems occurred throughout the day, pushing back the first semi-final between XL and Nerd Rage Pro around 2 hours in the morning from 9 to 11. And because of the delays, there wasn't enough time to play the grand final. This would be played online. Yeah. Much bigger crowd here to watch the second LoL semi-final, so I put that up. So this, who was this? Was this XL? No, this is MNM, I think.
As well, so much opportunity, I think.
Yeah, he did have like a good little turnout there.
Here. And again, Zandia, one of the weaker links on the team, they haven't really put too much focus around him here. I think they've got that core key as fallback damage if they.
That was Des streaming there. Team Singularity was there. There we go. XL support player Orcs said, facing Singularity in the final isn't something I expected. They're a wildcard team, but I think we're the stronger team. I think we'll end up beating them. I can't remember who actually won out of XL and Singularity now. I'll have to... I did a separate arc on it. So yeah, I interviewed Orcs and Inax at I61, and Orcs said we'll win the ESL Prem Low finals. Yeah, they did go on to win. Yeah, they did go on to win. And they didn't get to play at the BYC. Oh, I remember this, and I didn't write about it at the time, but one of their players at Insomnia got homesick, I think, right towards the end of Insomnia. I didn't write about it at the time because I thought it was a bit of a personal thing, but it's a long time ago now. And yeah, I think they got a bit homesick, and XL pulled out, I think, pulled out of the finals. I think so, anyway. Yeah, because Inax says it was a shame we didn't get to play the BYC. I think we could have won it. We definitely could have won it. We won't repeat the same mistake we did in UK Masters finals. Oh, maybe I'm wrong with that. I can't remember. I might be wrong. I remember at one point they had a problem where a player dropped out halfway through. Who remembers this org? Here's a UK org. Leicester says MNM. What did MNM win here? So MNM won the UK Masters. Is that Deadly with them here? Is that... No, that's Toaster, isn't it? So that's a slightly different team. This is looking very different to the team with Larson in. That's Candy Floss there, or Rifty. Sorry, Rifty did play for MNM, I forgot. Yeah, UK Masters Champions August 2017. So MNM won that as well. And Smoothie with Endpoint at that point, winning CSGO, isn't it? Here we go. Vim Esports are your I61 League of Legends BOC champions. Deadly. Wow, they've still got the Twitter page for this from August 2017. They came and went. They came and gone pretty quickly. Ver Mortalis. Interesting. I could get lost looking at UK League of Legends history. And let's not forget XL as well. I know this is not the UK League and as such. XL had a female League of Legends team as well. This is late 2017. They won Female Legends DreamHack. And I think Inax was sort of coaching them, or he was out there helping them. Vixie was on the team. Vixie's a streamer, of course. Yeah, there we go. Inax was out there. They won the tournament without dropping a single game. So yeah, it's good to talk about this stuff, you know, because if they're moving away from Grassroots League. And here we go. This was from January 2018. Diabolus signed former MNM players. So was this more your era now, Officer Naughty? Bringing Furion, Larson and XD Smiley back to UK LoL scene. Oh, look, I've mucked up image. Sometimes when I go in old articles, look at that picture of Doric there, massive. And this is who they signed here. Igloo, Furion, Larson, XD Smiley, Haddo, Doric, Frumi and Wolf. So I did some good coverage of Diabolus. I think I was fair. This was all like positive stuff. And I've spoken about this one, haven't I? Yeah, this one. I've done this one already. Okay, let's carry on. Let's carry on, see what else I can find. Forge of Champions roster roundup in progress. Who's playing where? So yeah, the Forge of Champions was announced around this point. Riot and LVP on investing millions into Forge of Champions, increasing awareness, and if UK orgs could ever reach the LCS. I'll bring that up in a minute. So yeah, the UK scene was starting to evolve at this point, and the Forge of Champions, obviously, it didn't really work out, did it? Sadly, didn't really work out. Officer Naughty says they signed through me above me was a bad day for Alex. Torok says everything you've shown now has been before my time. Sorry, Torok. Yeah, it's been a bit slow going, hasn't it? But I want to do it justice. I don't want to miss anything. I want to do XL and MNM justice, and I'm just looking through. I'll skip through the next 10 pages here. Here we go. The next sort of 10 pages, and we will be coming up to soon XL moving into the LEC. So, and then following that, right, we'll have the academy team. So, bear with me. Diabolus secure EU Masters spot. Here we go. Yeah, I've got this is like the tower stuff now. This is UKLC I'm moving into now. This is 2019. This. Okay. 28 out of 40, 27 out of 40. I'm going. And at this point, I can look at my content here, and I can see I'm starting to write about other esports at this point. Fnatic Rising win the UKLC Summer Final. They won a lot of them, didn't they? Fnatic. They won like 4 in a row or something. Twickenham Stadium to host the first UKLC live finals. I'll bring that up. Interview with Orcs. Yeah, I started doing other things here. Interview with Pansy on CSGO. I look back on the 2019 Esports News UK Proving Grounds. God, I forgot I'd done a couple of them. Nothing here. Nearly halfway through. I'm gone on to 23 now. And, I've got a feeling this has blooming missed some here, because I'm searching for XL. I think it's going to miss a lot of articles where I've written it as XL, the letters. Bloody thing. Okay, one more page. Okay. Oh. Yeah, okay. Let's bring this up. Sorry for the delay. Here we go. Look at this. Riot and LVP are investing millions into Forge of Champions, increasing awareness, and if UK orgs could ever reach the LCS. £50,000 Forge of Champions tournament. And this was separate to the UKLC as well. I think they announced this first and then they did the UKLC, from what I remember. I really liked that logo. That's a lot of money they spent, wasn't it? Bloody hell. Over the next 3 years, millions of pounds of investment will be going into LVP. Forge of Champions roster roundup. I didn't update this fully here. You can see here XL. They won the UK Masters Spring 2018. There we go. April 2018, Ice Court XL Esports defeat Diabolus in UK Masters League of Legends final. They've got people like Sendo here. Ferndog was still on coaching.
So I was always worried, there was always that concern that could happen, because you could draw, even
about that. The boys really showed up today.
Absolutely did. So congratulations to XL Esports, the UK Masters League of Legends Grand Finalist.
It said UK League of Legends Grand Finalists. They're the winners. They weren't just Grand Finalists. Have I put the roster in here? I can't see it here. Officer Naughty. This is a deleted tweet from you here, Officer Naughty. Just found Ferndog's game plan for XL this final. Pretty solid plan if you ask me. Does not exist. I wonder what that was. So yeah, there's a bit of history for XL. Should we see what MNM's roster here? Only Angel, Scudsy, Tivity, Jokerism, Camillus, and Coach Fightclean. These were TBC. Yes, that was June 2018. XL took that bot lane from a team I was on. Right. Probably got told to delete it by Cal. OD, hello OD, how's it going? We're going to take a quick break from our UK League of Legends history just to say hi to OD, and also just a quick shout out because OD's Royal Ravens team just announced their 2023 roster, and they've got 3 UK players. I think I've got that right. And Scraps is returning to the roster, a UK player. You've got American player Paul EHX, and Zero, their other UK player, still there as well, and Gizmo. Yeah. So yeah, Gizmo, Zero, and Scraps. Jack1402 is following. Thank you, Jack, for following. And you've also got Canadian player Azim, who was most recently with the LA Gorillas. So yeah, Royal Ravens. I hope that all goes well for you, OD. Nice to see Scraps coming back. I thought it was quite nice what he said. The move was an even bigger blessing than the first time. He said, I've cried tears a few times since signing my contract. It still doesn't seem real. Time to get my head down. I can't believe it's happened. So yeah, good luck, OD. And we also did shout out to Dan. Where is it here? Dan McNeese, who's been doing a bit of work experience for us, and he likes Call of Duty. That's his game. And he did a little piece the other day. Every UK COD player and coach representing a COD League franchise for the 2023 season, Modern Warfare 2. So we do have some nice UK talent in COD. And yeah, it's a nice little bit. This is why I do Esports News UK, right? It's to capture history. Maybe someone will look back on this in years, 5 or 10 years and think, oh yeah, look at all those UK players we had in Call of Duty, and all of that stuff. So yeah, OD, I'm just going through basically MNM Gaming and JD XL, or the academy team of XL Esports, are leaving the NLC, as is Lucent. They're leaving the UK and Northern Europe League of Legends, European Regional League. So I'm just looking back on their history and just paying tribute to them, really. So this was from Insomnia 63. This is August 2018. George Moncaster wrote this piece. And XL had an expo stand at this point. Now, at this point, I'm pretty sure XL had investment. So I should bring that up, actually, because I'm pretty sure XL got investment in like 2018, I think it was. Here we go. Yeah, so 2018 was a real pivotal year for XL. Now let's look at this here. When did I write this? Yeah, so this was August 2018. So they announced the investment in September 2018. So they probably already knew this was happening, late August. You had XL here. Here we go. Kieran Holmes Darby, co-founder of XL, said, "So excited to show you our all new lifestyle store merchandise." Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, so they were showing off their some merchandise at a stand, at a booth at Insomnia 63. Good time to announce we actually have secured a booth at I63. We'll be promoting UK sports alongside Barrage, which is now resolved. Pleasure to be working with them, our good friends and even better competitors. So you could see XL was starting to do things at this point that other orgs weren't, doing bigger things. So, yeah. And then, of course, they announced the majority shareholders, and everything would change at this point, wouldn't it? Because this is the start of Kieran and Joel, the two brothers who set up XL Esports, I haven't really spoken about that, have I? I mean, that's been spoken about so much, Kieran and Joel, isn't it? Been setting up the org in a pub and all that, or thinking about setting up an esports team when they were chatting over a pint in a pub. Kieran and Joel, the two brothers, of course, that set up XL Esports, I think back in 2014 and or 2015. And here, yeah, you can see they've got their new majority shareholders. Dave Harris is still with Guinevere Capital. This was in September 2018. The investment group has become XL's majority shareholders. Now, at that point, Joel and Kieran will start to lose control. They and you know, XL sold other parts of their business, didn't they, to other shareholders over the years as well. Some of that was kept a little bit quiet. I don't think they shouted about some of their other shareholders, but Guinevere Capital have always been sort of in the public eye a little bit, and things would change from this, right? Because Kieran and Joel started to lose control of the business, and that's what's happened, right? When you sell large parts of your business, and it's a shame because they're no longer working at XL day to day. I think I think they may still have a small share in the company, but they're not working there anymore. So yeah, this was announced, and it all started to move very quickly here, didn't it? Because a couple of months later, I think it was a couple of months later, they were announced to be heading into the LEC. This was before the LEC was announced, right? It was to be announced. Yeah, and of course, Guinevere Capital have a lot of history in the Australian scene as well. MD Dave Harris was a member of the Esports Games Association Australia, so things would change a lot here at this point. And Kieran said at the time he's thrilled to have Guinevere Capital on board as partners, and described them as having a clear focus on how to scale businesses in the space and operate them sustainably. I did a little. This is an old article. I should not be that big and blurry. It's silly. It's because I updated my article, my website after this, and image things went a bit wrong. XL leading the pack in the UK right now, so I did a little comment here saying they've come a hell of a long way since the early days of ESL Prem back in 2015. Yeah, they had their Omen gaming house as well. Let's not forget that. They were one of the first ones to do this sort of... not one of the first to do a gaming house, but to do it... They got a good sponsor on board in Omen by HP. And they were really one of the first in UK League of Legends, at least, to do this kind of thing. There's an interview I did here with Barnetta and Ferndog when I visited that house. Yeah, see, at one point, Joel Harms-Darby stepped down as MD of XL to become franchise lead for the Gfinity Elite Series, and Kieran then became full-time MD of XL. Yeah. Odie says, Gizmo gone, nasty stays. What have I done? Have I done that wrong? I'm an idiot. Sorry, Odie. I'm a bloody idiot. I've done that wrong, haven't I? Unless I've read that wrong. Hang on a minute. Yeah. Oh, God. What have I done here? Yeah, I've done that wrong. I've, for some reason, got that in my head. As I've looked at nasty and I've put bloody Gizmo. Right, let me change. I'm going to change that after this. I'll change that after this stream. Yeah, good luck to you, Odie. Okay. Diabolus Esports secured EU Master spot. At this point, Diabolus had Kerberos. Yep, so that happened. What else have we got here? Diabolus give MNM hell to become Tower champions. Who remembers the Tower format? This was the UKLC, wasn't it? Yeah, when the UKLC was new and you had that Tower format. Poppies with Medjai's. I'm pretty sure, was that, oh gosh, he was known as Nightmare. He changed his name, I can't think of his, Ego Speed, I think. Pick Poppies with Medjai, I think so. Oh, look, I've lost the blooming, some of these images here. MNM versus Fnatic. Oh, look, Fnatic had X-Matty at this point. There's a lot of articles I've missed, actually, for some reason, searching for stuff. I did interviews with Eminem, I did a lot of that stuff. Yeah, this is all match reporty stuff. I don't really do this anymore. Monk on MNM's performances in the UKLC so far. Who remembers Monk? Where's Monk playing now? This was March 2019 by Lee Jones. I forgot Lee Jones did articles for us here. Monk will carry. Is Monk will carry still playing? This was looking at his standout carry performances in week 3 of the UKLC in 2019. Look at this, MNM versus XL here.
Some chunk in here, and Mumus is looking to make his way up. Aaron, not even at half HP, just going below that mark now. Mumus looking to jump in onto Taxa for the moment. In comes the fight. Monk's putting that damage out. They're trying to get the damage in as he's roping through everyone. That's going to be one kill onto Shogun. A shutdown on the Monk here. Chibs is going in deep. And then that's true shot barrage forward. Sendo's low. Monk's trying to get the damage in, but Mumus not going to be able to follow up for more. And now Inax is going to get flashed on as he flashes away to safety. He's poking all of MNM as much as he can, but it's just going to step away.
And the team fight pressure shows up. They managed to split them up on multiple flanks. Mumus keeps Taxa out of that fight entirely. All the members go low so early that they're forced out. And Inax, he's so low now, he can't really fight this. It's reliant on Sendo.
Sendo's trying to put the damage out. He's jumping in forward. Baron's
He's
still
getting
aggro.
shredded.
He's getting absolutely ripped through by Monk here on this Cogmore as he is just melting, liquefying and dying here. Inax now trying to just continue to poke and prod as much as possible. He still remains untouched and Baron remains
alive
in
and has the
control.
ult.
That's going to be the heal coming forward onto Mumus, and Taxa with the ultimate, with that
Look at
smite,
Inax, he's just poking, isn't he? You didn't get him there.
They just picked up 4 kills in the true shot.
Yeah, so this is your era now. Here we go. Officer Naughty, did you put this team together? This was me and MNM, you said. Classic Officer Naughty signing Monk. Zero says Ultra. Oh, right. Grippio Craft, so Ultra League, right. I think they promoted with Kyo into Div 1 Ultra League. Okay. Officer Naughty says, we had a good roster then. Mumus, Naughty, Chibs, Monk, Shogun. Yeah, I liked it. This was like the new MNM, right? When this was a new era now, wasn't it, of UK League of Legends? The old days of Larson, Haddo and Rifty and all of that. I know Rifty's still playing, but being on the MNM roster. This was a new UK League. This was the UKLC. We didn't have ESL anymore, which I was a little bit sad about to begin with. We had the UKLC. We had LVP on board. We had this new rosters coming through, players like Chibs coming through. Yeah. That was a good roster you put together there, Officer Naughty. Who were you with, by the way, Alex? You had another coaching person, didn't you? It was you and someone else, or was it just you at that point? Torek says, congrats, Alex. You made the only good UK mid turn to TikTok in 1 year. Yeah, it was Chibs, wasn't it? I forgot about that. Do you know what? I wanted to do an article on Chibs going from a UK League player to like a TikTok star, but I don't know if he was keen on it. I don't know if I got a response to my DM on that. I thought that'd be a really cool article to do, a really interesting sort of thing. But no, Chibs is. I'm guessing Chibs is still doing TikTok stuff now. I'm not sure. Monk went on to explain how he won't necessarily always need to be the focus of the team, as he thinks all the players on my team can carry if we get a better understanding of macro. It just happened to be that we didn't have good plans on how to play out the early and mid game. Therefore, if you go to late game, it's usually the ADC that can carry out of anybody, if the ADC is good enough, that is. Unfortunately, MNM's Tower Challenge finale against Fnatic Rising did not go to plan. What we got here, this is an interview with Monk by Orcs.
You may have heard the adage, Monk will carry. Well, more recently it's been Monk will not carry, and he's really had some poor performances in the past 2 weeks.
If you start to set him behind early, he does start to slip away. He does start to make more and more mistakes. So.
Oh, they're looking for the play. That's going to be the Paranoia. First blood picked up from Mystique in the bot lane. Exalt coming in, Unleashed Power's going to go down, and NX gets himself a double kill in the top lane. Oh yeah, that was horrible. Exalt is getting ripped through. Monk's able to get one.
I remember this. I really like this content.
Picked up on the Cogmore, and Exalt just get caught out again. Flashes in forward. They're looking to chase. They're looking to poke. Inax is going to get caught out. Shogun flashes in with the Glacial Fissure to catch him out. And Monk is pumping in the damage. Trying to rip through it. But Inax is still alive for the moment. He gets shut down with an ultimate. And that's going to be a triple kill onto Monk.
Oh my god. This is the best birthday all my god. Oh yeah, happy birthday! Happy birthday!
This is exposed, and MNM has slain XL. Portal jump's not enough, and Chibs on our killing spree. Down goes Warzy. That's Governor getting focused down, and Monk is going to go down. The fear beyond death. Up on the hook lands by Shogun. Now they're chasing in the damage. He gets flayed back. Monk is going to take down Raisins. The recalls are being cancelled. MNM might just have done this. They're trying to do everything they can. The Nexus is being the focus. Curve cannot stop Momus. Cannot stop Monk. And 47 minutes in, a backdoor comes through for MNM. Alright, well, we are on to Summoner's Rift for our final game of the day. The Tower Challenge, Fnatic Rising, looking to try and hold up their spot versus MNM.
You may have hit.
That was good, yeah, I did like that. So you did have Pad at this point then? Officer Naughty says this was just before we had Pad. Oh, before he went to Mad. Yeah, or it had Pad maybe. Yeah, I think, yeah, he did have Pad, yeah. Shark Person says Eminem's old announcements were the best. I missed those. Officer Naughty says I made some good signings. This was the roster they announced in Wanyu. Oh yeah, I remember that. Eminem lost the game following a Vargar ADC pick from Monk going up against ex-Matty's Yasuo. Yeah, so this was like a hybrid sort of match report and interview with Monk. I quite like this article by Lee Jones. Shout out to Lee. Magnificent mid laner Magifelix helps Fnatic Rising massacre Eminem and defend their tower spot in the UKLC. This was February 2019. Where is Magifelix now as well? Is he sort of not doing anything? Fnatic Rising win inaugural UKLC. I remember that. That was a good team. I enjoyed watching them. Prosper as well. Shikari, Dan Xmatty, Magifelix. I wonder if Xmatty's going to change. He's still with BDS, isn't he? We'll see. He hasn't tweeted in a while, has he, Xmatty? June, September, October. Oh, he was grinding. He's currently grinding solo queue in Korea. That's interesting. Been a really nice experience so far at T1 facilities. Interesting. Twickenham Stadium to host first UKLC finals. This was July 2019. Again, I knew at this point I was about to become dad to twins. So I was, again, not doing as much work. There was a lot of stuff I was doing around the house and had to get a bigger car and all of this crazy stuff. So, yeah, I was Esports News UK was sort of refocusing. I remember at this point, that bit of content we had there, it had a clip from Gromp News. Whatever happened to Gromp News? By the way, let's get out my DMs. What am I doing there? Gromp News. Have they disappeared now? No. May 31st. Ribbit. Oh, that's a shame. Time constraints. Gromp News will no longer be regularly used. That's a shame. I always like to see, UK League and things. No, that didn't. I always knew I'd keep going, but I had to diversify and move beyond UK League as well. Magifelix was too good at the game. Just prefers solo queue. Yeah, Zero says no team. Prob still high challenger. Is fourth in challenger. There we go. Yeah. Let's have a look here. What else we got here? So Twickenham Stadium. I actually missed that, but again, because my twins were on the way, I missed that. Oh, there we go. Look, tickets to UKLC final cost £5. There we go. So maybe I can do some events that are £5 or £10, and get more people turning up, or not dropping out. Could do pub quiz. I could do things with prizes. Interview with Orcs. This was Megalodontus. Megalodontus, you were doing stuff for me at this point. December 2019. Yeah, so Orcs had made the switch at this point, obviously from XL to Caster. Having been a League of Legends support player for XL in the past, Orcs has since swapped his mouse and keyboard to work as a full-time caster. This is a sort of early-ish Megalodontus article, isn't it? We've got to talk about the rivalry between Orcs and... you might not be able to see this that well here. trivia on the Orcs Liquipedia page. Had a rivalry with fellow support player Prosper. They became close friends after Orcs retired, and Prosper admitted that Orcs had always been the superior player. And Prosper has tweeted out, "Excuse me, but what the F is this?" So yeah, I've put Orcs in because obviously Orcs did play for XL and has had a big, had an impact, right, on UKLC, on UK League and so on. There we go. Yeah. So the addition of Youngbug, I must have missed here. I need to go back and I need to find the bit where no, that's weird. I'm pretty sure I did an article about Kieran saying like we're ready for the LEC, and I can't find it. Oh, sorry, we're prepared. That's what he said. Here we go. November 2018. XL Esports MD confirms UK August joining the rebranded League of Legends European Championship LEC. The rumours were true. I think these rumours were broken by Jacob Wolf. Report claims XL Esports have an EU LCS franchise slot. There we go. Look, Jacob Wolf broke this. November 19th, 2018. G2 Fnatic, Schalke, Vitality, Misfits, Origin, Splice, Rogue, XL and SK Gaming would be in the LEC. And when we saw XL Esports, I was like, what? What on earth? Over other teams we've got in the UK. And yeah, look, they got the investment in September, and by November they were an LEC team. So yeah, Kieran said, I can't quite believe I'm here saying this, but we're absolutely delighted to announce that as of 2019, XL will be competing in Riot's inaugural LEC. We believe we've accomplished everything there is to accomplish in UK League, and now we feel that the next progression is to do that on an international level. And we're prepared for the challenge. Want to take our fans new and old on a really exciting journey. Now, I've taken a lot of these quotes from from Kieran in this video.
I can't quite believe that I'm here saying this to you, the esports community, but we are absolutely delighted to announce that as of 2019, XL Esports will be competing in Riot Games' inaugural League of Legends European Championship. This is quite honestly the most exciting thing that has ever happened to XL as a brand, firstly, and secondly, to me as an individual. We are joining what I believe is the most prestigious esports competition in the West. And whilst we understand that competing against some of the world's best esports teams will undoubtedly be a challenge, we believe we're prepared for it. After entering the UK League of Legends scene in late 2015, we consistently built our infrastructure from sort of 2016 onwards. This led to, in the spring split of 2017, us winning our first UK National Championship.
I won't play the whole thing because it goes on. Maybe I should look at that because XL win ESL Prem. I seem like I've lost that. Here we go. Yeah, this was November 2017. This has been a long time coming. XL on winning the ESL LoL Prem Autumn Finals. Yeah, I spoke to Barnetto, who was team manager at the time, on winning that. There we go. They beat Singularity 3-2. I want to get the blooming roster. Look, I like this tweet from Orcs here. I won the UK Prem, by the way. And his mum's replied saying, "What's that?" Yeah, I can't get the roster like listed, but you can see the team there. Inak, Shikari, Alex, 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 I've forgotten these players. I've forgotten their names now. And then there's one that we can't see that's out of shot. You've got Ferndog and Kieran in there as well. Torok says, time to get back in the NLC, Odie. Oh yeah, Odie says, I sold my EU franchise slot. Yeah, if I hadn't, well, they wouldn't have got in. Yeah, isn't that weird? Odie, isn't that weird? Like, when you start thinking about things like this, if this had happened, if that had happened, they wouldn't have been there. Torok says, time to get back in the NLC. Many slots up for grabs. I'll run it all, no research needed, and I'll offer a whole celebrations box. Do it, do it. MQS says XL when it wasn't soulless. Officer Naughty says Shikari, Taxa, Krumel, Inax, Orcs, that's it, yes, Taxa. Sorry, how could I forget Taxa and Krumel? Odie says, and if I didn't sell it, Splice wouldn't exist. And if Splice didn't exist, then what is the... was that the one that became Mad Lions, or have I got that wrong? Splice. And then look, we've got some stuff here. So yeah, this is when they went to the LEC, and this is, I mean, we're jumping all over the place now. I don't know why this is jumping so far ahead. Do you remember when you did this Officer Naughty's talk, UK talk, Alex? This is I just announced I was going full time with Esports News UK. This is almost 2 years ago now. That was a fun little chat with Smeagol and Ferndog. I'd like to do more of these. Chats. If you want to do more about UK League and stuff, I'm up for doing it. But I think the NLC does a good job, doesn't it, of doing this kind of thing as well. Well, I don't know. I feel like there's less scope for a chat show. I could do one every now and then, but maybe not a regular one. Spring roster roundup for NLC. At this point, we had the NLC. And it was BT XL, wasn't it? They were called up until earlier this year. Look, they had Deadly, I remember, was on BT XL for a long time. Marcoon, look, before he went to the LEC. Marcoon and Advian before they went to the LEC. Advian is he in a ERL now? Yeah, support for Giants Gaming, of course, yeah. Zero, you will know that well, right? Let's look at some other stuff here. So I'm halfway through these articles. I'm going to keep chopping ahead here. See how we get on. Yeah, it was good, Alex. I thought you were really good, mate. Proud of this. Always thought about desk hosting. You're good. I think you've got a good personality, and you're funny as well with your tweets and your tweet videos. Method of point. No, we're not looking at method. Let's have a look here. Oh, look at this one. This one wasn't so good. MNM's relegation to UKLC. I'll talk about that in a minute. Oh, be quiet, PC, blooming thing. Right, I'll get down to page 10. So, yeah, I think a lot of this stuff now, is we're a bit more up to date now. So there probably won't be a lot of the... We've covered most of those sort of older, early days of MNM Gaming and XL. And I will try and do Lucent at some point as well. That'll be easier for me to find those articles, because I don't have as many articles on Lucent as I do, obviously, XL and MNM. They've been around a lot longer. And the other thing is, as we get more to more present day, closer to more present day, I'd say a lot of my MNM articles are probably about the Rainbow Six team, and also Trackmania. There's a few here I've found. Okay. I'm on page 15 out of 40 now for all these XL articles. Yeah, it's M&M European League and stuff like that I'm coming on to now. I think, to be honest, we're more like 2020 now. And it's a shame, Torok, because, like I say, I haven't, over the years, like as we got more closer to present day, I didn't do as many match reports and things. It's good for history, it's good for Google, like people looking back on it, but not a lot of people read them, unfortunately. So it was a lot of effort, doing a match report. compared to doing a press release or even sometimes doing an interview. And one thing I do want to do, I want to make sure we do, we talk about when XL hit playoffs. That's what I want to talk about. I've got the Dong Jake interview here I've just found. There we go. Right, I'm up to 10 now, so let's jump back in. No. Yeah, you spoke too soon there, Officer Naughty, didn't you? You said, oh, that's too nice from you. No relegation talk. We always came back. Odie said, I went to the UK launch of Call of Duty in London on Thursday. Yeah, I saw your tweet picture. That looked cool. How was it, Odie? Because I remember back in the day, back when I was a business journalist, a games journalist for MCV, those Call of Duty launches were awesome, and they always had a lot of celebrities as well, like rappers and footballers and things like that turning out. That must have been fun. A good week for you then, Odie. You had the Modern Warfare launch, and then you also had the even bigger event, the Esports News UK 7th birthday drinks. It was good to see you there. MNM's relegation to UKLC raises questions around academy teams in UK League. This isn't that old, that article. It's a year and a bit. Let's just come on to this first. MNM were relegated after losing their matches in the spring relegation series. They lost to Bifrost and Dusty. However, because their academy side is already in the UKLC and rules don't allow an org to field more than one team in a specific league, MNM will have to sell their academy slot to another owner. And they actually decided to give up their academy slot rather than sell it. This means there will be 2 UKLC promotion slots up for grabs for other teams rather than one, which was a really nice thing to do. I remember that. MNM, it's a good thing. And actually, all this stuff and the stuff that MNM do, for some reason, the search hasn't worked. It hasn't worked from the back end. Maybe I should have done this. Tag MNM. Maybe I should have done this. This would have been better, wouldn't it? Oh God, I got it wrong. Oh well. Although this is coming up with a lot of other games as well. Oh look, do you remember this? Look, Megalodonta. She did a lot of these overreactions articles. Do you remember that? Bloody hell. What am I looking for here? I was looking for something and I can't think what it was now. MNM take 1st and 3rd place in the ESL Hearthstone Premiership. Ah, this was it. I found it. God, I forgot about all this. Look, I've missed loads of stuff here. There's loads of stuff. There's more stuff about MNM we can talk about here. Odie, look, there's a video I did with you back 6 years ago. Wow. Look, I missed this. Look, this was when MNM... I know we're chopping all over the place now. Craig Robinson wrote this. Newly qualified ESL UK Premiership teams reflect on their performances to set out their ambitions. Look, MNM came through in early 2016. They got promoted. MNM Prosfair gave me these quotes. We're aiming at a top 4 finish. We had Alfari and Cagel playing for Renegades back then. Odie says it was interesting. Professor Green, Akinfenwa, Jordan Pickford, Frank Kirby, Nicola Adams. Interesting. Chunks, Big Zoo. So said, didn't 3 teams end up promoting through some weird turn of events? I can't remember. Odie says, MNM we helped too. We gave up scanned computers. Yeah, I'm going to come on to that. Shark person. Biggest sadness was MNM never going to EU Masters. Oh, yeah. No, I'm sorry. I was going to talk about the old Challenger Series thing. But yeah, absolutely. MNM not going there is sad. Chimera, the mid laner, who was at this point had moved to MNM's UKLC roster as a sub, so we interviewed him at this point. Oh, actually, this was an interview from you, Mega. I remember that. Something you put on Medium. Do you remember these articles you did for me? This was early 2020, this one. Overreactions. Sort of fun, sort of memey stuff. This is the article I remember writing. I wanted to do this. I like the picture, and this was an opinion piece I did. In an esports industry obsessed with winning, MNM has shown us something more. And this is like the togetherness I'm talking about. Yeah, MNM Gaming have been eliminated from the EU Challenger Series LoL qualifiers because they got through there for winning the ESL UK Prem at that point. And yeah, I wrote about, like, I don't see any of the players like moaning when they lose, like they accept it and move on to the next game, like humble in victory, gracious in defeat. I like that roster. Always learning, I've put here. Learn to win ugly, or how to grind out results, you know, professionalism, and having a positive energy and spirit about them. So yeah, I really like that roster they had back then. And this is a fun old chat. This is 5 years old now. This is a Weatherspoons and Chill interview I did with Rifty and Toaster from MNM. Yeah, just a random chat I did, like a random video. And just to talk to you as 2 experienced people, there we go, I'll use experience in League of Legends. Your thoughts on League of Legends, esports, the state of the scene. You've played with a lot of players, a lot of teams, you know. What's your view on the current state of League in the UK?
Why did we ever begin playing?
What do you mean, like, in terms of League of Legends? Like, is it like the scene, the actual
itself,
game? Or?
The scene in the UK at the moment. You've been on it a long time. You were talking about London conspiracy earlier.
Yeah.
Can we only? Is it only on the way up from here? Do you think? You know, right, or opening an office?
I'm not gonna say anything, but I heard a lot of good things are on its way right now, because like steadily, like, things have been like downhill, like in EU in general. So I mean, like, I'm hoping for like something to change for an uphill, like something.
I remember that, chat. That was a good old interview. If you want to watch that, I'm sure you can find it. Larson on form as MNM take first win. Oh yes, this was before they got knocked. I remember they won the first game of the Challenger Series qualifiers, but then they got knocked out afterwards. And actually, that player there, where is this here? This happened. MNM replaced Candy Floss with former Misfits Academy jungler following internal disagreements. Now this is Carter, who's been head coach at Misfits. And it was a shame because they removed him from the team days before they would play in the EU Challenger Series qualifiers. Ian UK understands there was disagreement between Candy Floss and MNM. We heard that Candy Floss had pushed for an improvement within the team and had suggested replacing Haddo with another support player. Candy Floss did not appear in any new MNM content. It seems he didn't turn up to the house at all. So it was a real shame. They had to get a last-minute jungler in. They got Kadir in, the Dutch jungler Kadir, last minute. And actually, wow, I thought he would have deleted this. I thought Carter or Candy Floss would have deleted this video. Why I won't be playing in Challenger Series qualifiers, so I'm going to play this.
Now, let me bring you back a few weeks ago. My support player was just about to be moving into the gaming house, and before he did, he decided to go out and celebrate with his friends in town, and he'd had a few too many to drink, and he had no money to get back home. And as we all know, when you're drunk, you just make poor decisions, and I'm sure he'll heavily regret this one. He ended up getting a lift back with his mate, who was also way over the limit, and he was in a near fatal car accident. And the good news is that he is alive and he's recovering the best he can, but he did end up losing both of his arms, and as you can imagine, this is really tricky for me to talk about, and it just left me completely distraught for days, and I can't even think about what he's going through personally. With that said, I told the MNM management that we're going to need a new player for obvious reasons, but they decided to keep the support player and persevere because they believe that he's going to be able to perform and improve by the time CSQ comes around. So therefore they decided to find a new jungler, and I wish them the best of luck and I hope they do well. Cheers.
So yeah, I think Candy Floss Carter is a lot more professional now. But yeah, I remember watching that video and thinking it was serious for the first half, thinking, oh my god, there's been a car accident. But then saying, you know, Haddo's lost both his arms and MNM is still going to keep him on. So there was clear disagreements there. He wanted to obviously boot Haddo off. This just, like, you know, dark sort of humour. And then he left at that point. So yeah, let's remember that bit of history of Eminem. You know, it's not always positive, is it? It's not always positive. Things happen. It's esports. You have different personalities. You have clashes. You have disagreements, and you know you have to deal with it, don't you? This was an interview I did with Deadly back when he was with Eminem, I think, at this point. Maybe not actually. No, sorry, he was with Misfits at this point. There we go, he was with Misfits. Yeah, and this was another time here. Eminem's LoL team collapsed ahead of the EU Challenger Series qualifiers. This was early 2017. I think it was. I don't know what happened with this. I can't remember. I wrote the article. I can't remember exactly what happened. I'm sure it'll be in here. But yeah, there we go. The players all announced they were leaving after they won the ESL Prem. The Eminem players announced they were leaving Eminem and becoming free agents. But what happened was, before they joined Eminem, they agreed that the players would own the spot if they won the UK Premiership, not the org. So after winning the Prem, Eminem apparently missed out on boot camp as they couldn't secure enough finances to get a house sorted. And one of the players had high ping. So the plan was for the players to sell the spot, with one Eminem player staying on and 4 others coming on board, including one player from the LCS. The spot took a long time to get sold. The first investor they spoke to apparently turned out to be a scammer, and then they had to carry on playing basically with just the players, so they called themselves Team Larson. So it's a real shame, really. They should have just all stuck together as Eminem. What's the point in trying to... I know you want to sell your spot and get money, but it just, you know, maybe there's more to this story. This is old now as well, isn't it? It's 5 years old, but it was a shame that it all had to happen that way, and I don't think they didn't qualify either as Team Larson. Eminem Gaming's behind the scenes UK League of Legends videos. Oh yeah, so I just did a little post here on, there's some nice videos here. This is Eminem in 2016.
I've been hearing your voice crawling in my
Nicely edited videos. I think it was Reese Rasmussen that did these videos.
bouncing off my skin. I can't sleep when I'm sure it turns you on to know.
There's a munchables of the ESL Prem trophy. I'm pretty sure there wasn't a tournament there at the Millennium, the O2 Arena. Just different shots of London, isn't it? Everything.
I just can't turn you down. I keep
Torok says experience as Rifty 5 years ago, still playing. Gotta love Rifty. Yeah, Officer Naughty that's right. It's when he called Haddo handless, basically. Oh wow, that was Eminem's CS:GO team. I forgot they had Neil Murphy. When did Eminem leave CS:GO? This was it. Yeah, that's a CS team there, I think. Yeah. And who remembers this one here? December 2016, Fnatic's new mid laner Caps apologises for threatening UK League of Legends player in solo queue. This was back when Haddo was with M&M Gaming, I think, and shared a tweet of him in solo queue of Caps telling him, "You will never get anywhere in League. I'll make sure I will trust your team," and all of this stuff. You don't want to be on my hate list if you want to go anywhere in League, Cap says. I'll make sure you never get to join a CS or LCS team. And he had to apologise, Caps, when he joined Fnatic. He had to apologise because all this stuff came out. People started retweeting Haddo's old tweet. And yeah, Caps had to apologise, but he got over it, didn't he? He's done pretty well. Look how young Caps looks there. Yeah, it was a banger. Do you remember that? Yeah, 634 likes and almost 200 retweets. Yeah, I remember that one. And so other articles I did, how Eminem lit up UK sports. I've done quite a few interviews actually with Cal and Dan, quite a few over the years. Yeah, Odie, look, do you remember this? Look, this is a UK sports discussion show with Odie, ESL UK, Eminem and Frozen Dawn. So yeah, we had, I think, Furion when he was with Eminem, and then Odie, you were Team Dignitas owner at this point. Yeah, so this is before you sold Dig. Damn, where the hell's the time gone? Analyte finished first in ESL Prem after beating Banditos, and then when they split up and all that, Eminem got their roster. Yeah, and with XL Esports, I remember John, one of their coaches, left for France. I think he's still in the LFL with Solari. And when the NLC Division 1 teams were confirmed, you had M&M Gaming qualified for Division 1, Resolve reached Division 2. And also, XL were already invited, weren't they, here? You can see the teams here, BTXL or JD XL. This was December 2021. You had the final team set: Riddle, Singularity, Dusty, BTXL, Australis, Bifrost, Enrique, M&M, Veneer, and X7. I think that's Veneer. And then the Div 2 teams here. You've got Lucent, who've left, Verdant, and a few others. London United left, didn't they, earlier this year as well? Can't forget them. Yeah, so NLC, these were like spring roster roundouts. Don Jake, you called out Orgs. Shall I jump to Lucent now? I feel like there's probably a lot I've missed, right? Torok, especially your like newer stuff. Because I think I sort of wrote about it less in recent years. As other orgs done such a good job of doing content, I've sort of written about it a bit less than I used to. And Soph, of course, is making he's did a guest cast, didn't he? Well, these rosters will always be etched in history on the Esports News UK website. Dan Hockley, Emenez, Venza, FGG. So I really like these announcements, by the way, that you had with the cartoons and all of that stuff. I will have to talk about the M&S stuff because it was a shame, wasn't it, Torok and everyone? Like, it's a shame what happened. When XL benched M&S, saying he refused to be a good team player, and at some point actions have consequences. I think that was a quote from Tim Reichardt, who told me them, the COO. And around this point, the results weren't the same, were they? JD XL started off so well at the start of the season, and there we go. Torok announcing as of this evening, Rozku will be promoted to our starting roster. Yeah, it's a shame. I'm gonna miss. I'm really gonna miss XL in the ERLs. I really am. It's not gonna be the same for me. Like I say, I hope we can see the likes of Lions Creed and Ruddy and so on step up and represent, and natives now, right? Ireland, UK and Ireland, step up and represent and give us some more good memories in the future. I feel like that's a lot of the XL and MNM stuff over the years. Is there anything I've missed, guys? I'm going to still look. I've got 10 more pages here that I'm going to look at while we before we move on to Lucent. Torok says they were really clean design-wise. It was a position no team wants to be in, but alas wasn't unforeseeable. Torok, do you know what we should do at some point? It'd be nice to do a discussion show, wouldn't it? Megalodontus had an idea the other day of maybe doing a discussion show. If you're ever up for that and talking about lessons learned or some of your memories and times, because I usually end of week stream, I like to just do a really chilled out stream, do what I'm doing now, just jump on, hit broadcast, just chat with a chat, and have a really laid back sort of stream. But I do like doing chat shows and things and live interviews. I usually do those in the midweek, like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and have a helper from Nottingham Trent do the production, so I can just focus on hosting and they can do all the technical stuff. If you're ever up for doing that, maybe I could get a few from teams that have left. XL, Resolve, London United, M&M, and get a mix of people and talking about why you've left and like good memories and things like that. I think that could be quite fun to do at some point. This is really weird. I'm going back, and this isn't in date order. I don't know what I've done here, but this isn't in date order. XL signed Young Buckers. I don't know what's happened here. XL become Tower champions in week 1 of UKLC. Because one thing I haven't covered that well tonight is, you had the new XL, the old XL, right? A lot of the XL staff leaving. Actually, a lot of it has come up here. Yeah. Fnatic and XL reach UKLC Grand Final and qualify for EU Masters. Yeah, I've got some more articles here. Let's do this last burst of articles before we move on to Lucent. I know it's very late. Yeah, we had the fight for first documentary as well, didn't we? God. Then Joel left for Method. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. Right, last couple of pages and then I'll bring up these last few articles. Just reading through it. There's a lot of stuff about Valorant and FIFA and other stuff I've written about here. Right, last page. I've got a lot of articles here about the new XL, like newer stuff that's happened. Right, there we go. There's more older stuff here, previews and things I've done. EXO signed Young Buck, November 2019. I mean, he's been there ages, hasn't he? Tower Champions, then UKLC. EXO narrowly miss out on LEC playoff spot as Schalke complete miracle run. I know this isn't the academy team, but there's still big parts of XL history. Alex, XL's head of marketing, left for London Esports. You know, you had a lot of people leaving Boaster around that time, who's now obviously in Valorant. League of Legends coaching staff reunited at Munster Rugby Gaming. Well, a lot of us know what happened there. Early changes to their LEC team. BTXL pull off miracle run to reach EU Masters quarterfinals. Do you remember that? Was that your time there, Torok? Torok says, I'm up for anything league-wise. Haha, just hit my DMs. Yeah, it'd be great to do, mate. That was it. Megalodon, she said UK uncensored. Yeah. Torok says it was a position no team wants to be in, but alas wasn't unforeseeable. Yeah, the M&S thing. I remember that miracle run. That was great. It was a group stage, wasn't it? Yeah, it was in the group stage of the EU Masters. Fnatic and XL reach UKLC Grand Final, qualify for EU Masters. XL appoints new CEO and CCO, signs BT sponsorship deal. This is when the new XL started to emerge around this time. You know, early 2020. Coming into that first LEC. Was that the first LEC? I think? No, sorry, no, what am I talking about? No, we had it in 2019. Yeah, and they brought on board Wouter, who was previously Fnatic CEO, and then Robin McCammon as a COO, I think. CCO, sorry, eventually left. Neo Surf Cup, that XL thing they did in early 2020 before COVID, that was brilliant. I really enjoyed that Neo Surf Cup event they had at Twickenham Stadium. I haven't mentioned Twickenham Stadium, have I? Interview with Deadly. Deadly was at XL for a very long time. Ferndog on the inside story at XL and Munster. That was interesting on how XL's changing and everything. That was a good interview I did early 2021. Megalodon, this article here. I forgot he had a time with XL. Izzy Dreams UK head coach, Western Way. can't remember what he did at XL now. Oh, worked in the LEC. Okay, yes, that's not academy level. Fabian Broich, he left. Fight for first thing. Joel Holmes Derby left, didn't he, in early 2021 to go to Method. Do you remember when XL did that whole Power of Better thing? That was November 2020. We don't hear that much anymore, do we? That Power of Better. Are they still doing that? They had Dele Alli as an ambassador, and they had the new logo and everything. Cagewell left XL late 2020 before he became a big caster and streamer. Joel left, we spoke about that. Fabian Broich. And then XL to open new London HQ, that was July 2021. God, there's a lot of articles I've done, isn't there? XL Academy team and Veneer eliminated from NLC playoffs as Riddle and Dusty progressed. That was March 2022. Oh, that was earlier this year. They finally reached playoffs, of course, with their LEC team. Where do you think they can go? I wonder where they're going to go next. What their ceiling is. If they're going to be focusing on Tier 1 esports now, you'd expect them to do a little bit better, wouldn't you? Than they have done. They brought Mickey X in. And then the partnership with JD earlier this year as they became JD XL, their academy team. You know, new XL as well, you know, Kieran being pushed out a little bit. Tim Reichert was appointed new esports director. Kieran was the esports director and he was outgoing, leaving the org. And of course, he filed for that unfair dismissal claim, which has been settled now. You know, XL had problems with Fosty, didn't they? Their social media manager. I won't go into all that drama, but I'm just looking at articles here. And yeah, the new XL, all these management changes. London XL HQ launch party. That was a really good launch, by the way. Let's look at Lucent then before we wind down. I haven't looked at the blooming stories I've done this week, other than the Royal Ravens and the Into the Breach thing. I think probably those are two of the bigger stories anyway. I haven't done much because of my event. And you've had talent at the IEM Rio Major, which is taking place soon, and the Esports Awards. We had a bunch of UK talent nominated there. Gregan, Cadrell, Yinsu Collins, really happy for Yinsu. James Banks, Freya Spires, Pansy, Machine, Miles Ross, Odd Pixel, loads of UK talent up for awards at the Esports Awards, so good luck to them. And yeah, let's talk about Lucent here, because we're saying goodbye to Lucent as well. Wow, I've done more articles than I thought, actually, mentioning Lucent. 3 pages worth of articles here. Oh, you're 2022, yep. Odie said he's cast in the semi-final now. Oh, what, the, yeah, Cadrell. Yeah, the world semi-final. Mega says, I'm glad they dropped the Power of Better. Torek says it didn't stick, pretty much. It sounded off when I first heard it. Said Megalodontus never grew on just about anyone over time. Yeah, I still think XL need to find their identity. I do. London United wins summer 2021 League of Legends UK EL. Of course, London United have gone now, haven't they? Okay. Let's go back to page 2 here. Here we go. Where's Lucent in here? Oh, the bottom of the end of the UKLC table with Lucent and Viperio, who entered the relegation series with London United and Knox to fight for a space in the 2022 Spring UKLC. Oh, I do miss the UK EL. Oh God, what's happened here? Page cannot be found. Bloody thing. That was it. That's what I remember Lucent doing. Warning other... not this one here. Where is it? They pick up Hive Central's league roster after Hive ceased operations following contract dispute with Rainbow Six team. Lucent started coming in here early 2021. Oh, These words maybe come back to bite them, haven't they? It's always the right time to invest in League of Legends. Now, a year and a bit later, they're gone. Had high hopes for reaching the UKLC. Oh yeah, they won the UKEL, didn't they? I forgot about that. That's what they wanted me to talk about on stream, I think. Lucent are your 2021 Spring Split champions, putting off a reverse sweep against Demise Academy. What happened to Demise? We don't hear much about Demise. Are they in Div 2? They haven't tweeted since August, so that they've sort of slowly phased out a bit, haven't they? That's a shame. Another UK org not doing much. Obviously, London United withdrew. This is just a couple of months ago. They're going to revise their esports strategy, and yeah, Lucent reached the UKLC. That was after winning their UKEL. Lucent partnered with Kirklees College to help students learn about esports, and they're still going to be doing stuff, right? Lucent, they're just not in league anymore, right? And I remember this one. This is the big Lucent story I did that got picked up by quite a few places. Didn't get picked up by other publications, but it got talked about quite a bit on social media when I put the tweet out, and even got me talking with Mad Lions head coach Mac, and we ended up deleting the tweets because so what happened was their Korean jungler left them for Mad Lions Madrid on a free transfer because he hadn't signed a contract with Lucent yet. Which you could say, oh, it's on Lucent. You know, he was only with them, whatever it was, a week or something. 2 weeks after joining Lucent. While Lucent have buyout clauses in their contracts, Joni had not yet signed the contract, meaning he was able to join Mad Lions Academy team on a free transfer. So and William Gleedle, CEO and co-founder of Lucent, said Joni had a buyout in his contract but had difficulty signing it. So it's partly my issue and partly down to the fact I think he had offers in the background. I usually give our players 4 days to sign a contract with Lucent, and this time I gave 7 and it came back to bite me. And we had Morgan Sports Law did a really good thread on it, actually. Nick Williams at Morgan Sports Law, and when I published this story on Twitter, I had Matt going, he hasn't joined us, and I'm thinking, what the hell? And then loads of people start liking Mac's tweet. I'm like, what is going on here? He's on the contract database as he's with Mad Lions. And so I DM'd Mac saying, you know, as I understand it, he is your player. What is going on here? Because he's on the contract database. And then I'm starting to think, right, got it wrong, because he's not on the contract database. Or that he's been incorrectly put as a Mad Lions player on the contract database. And then Matt goes, oh, hang on a minute, he is our player. Like, yeah, it must have been someone else on the team that signed him as a backup player for their academy team. And so Mac deleted his tweet and I deleted my tweet so it didn't confuse anyone. But I was panicking a little bit. I was thinking, oh no, Mac's calling out my article here. Have I got something wrong? But no, must have been some internal miscommunication at Mad Lions. So I'll always remember Lucent for this weird story, this weird situation that happened. And good luck to Lucent in what they do next. I'm going to miss them. And I'm going to miss absolutely XL's academy team and MNM Gaming. I think that's been a good... I feel like I'm missing something, but I feel that's been a good sort of delve into the history of UK League. Wow, 2.5 hours we've been streaming. Megalodon says, maybe XL can have no identity. That's their identity. USP right there. Torok says, it feels NLC UK brands just don't have the reason to care about us factor. That's so necessary to actually have longevity. I agree. It's not just XL, I agree. Zero says, I remember Lucent complaining loudly and often. I like the Lucent guys. I think they've been, you know, they haven't done as well as they could have done. You know, I guess roster stuff. They started off very well, didn't they? Winning the UK, picking up that team, and just it didn't work out for them. I like the Lucent guys. Crazy says we thought about getting a team for Div 4 and didn't do it. As seen all these orgs leaving made it not worth it. I mean, yeah, and what are you getting out of it? Great. What are you getting out of being a Div 4 team? It's good practice, isn't it? It could be fun to have a roster, but it's still hard work. And if you're not getting loads out of it, you're not getting loads of views. I don't even know how to watch Div 3 and below. I know there are some streams that do them. Ruddy, Don Jake will probably tell me off. It's not easy, and it's not very well publicised, is it, by NLC? Those lower div streams. Zero says contract database is a mess. Academy team is pretty disconnected from main at Mad Lions from what I've heard. That'll explain it then, yep. Mega said, anything to add? Torok says, but it's normal for a sub for Academy to be missed by main team. Yeah, that's what's happened. Crazy says, LOL wasn't our main thing anyways. Well, thanks everyone. I know we've had a small sort of view count today, around 6 to 10 or so. But I hope you enjoyed it. I know people are out doing other things. You've got Worlds going on, haven't you? There's Epic Land this weekend, so some of our views have dropped because of that. But I enjoyed doing this, and I will aim to move it onto YouTube as well. Put this vid onto YouTube so people can see it. And like I say, I will do something, turn it into an article. So if there's Torok and Officer Naughty, I don't know if you're still here, but if there's any sort of certain memories and moments you want me to mention, like just give me a shout. I'll happily put it in the article, or consider putting it in the article, or maybe we do that after. If we do like a discussion stream, I could do an article after that. But yeah, I'm always happy to preserve the history of what's happened and all of that stuff. And good luck, Torok and Officer Naughty, MNM, XL in other games. Torok, I hope you find a team, a project to get cracking with. I think you're a great asset to the scene. You've done a lot of good things, and you're positive as well. We need more positivity in this scene, in my opinion. So yeah. Torok says, thanks for the stream, Dom, was fun. Thank you for tuning in. I know it's a long stream and it's a Saturday night, but to be here with me is, I appreciate it. I value your time. I really do. Worlds plus Ian UK for my night, easy peasy. There you go. What else could you want from life in League of Legends? Shark Person says, thanks, Dom, you big Tory, you. Now, don't start with all that nonsense, but I will end with this. Don't let the Tories take our flag, right? This is our UK. I'm all about UK esports. Don't stop this Tory nonsense, okay? I'm not a Tory, and even if I was, I can still have a flag here and celebrate UK esports. So there we go. Things are changing. UK League, Nordics League is changing. It will continue to change, but I'll always be here for the ride, documenting it through the good and through the bad. I promise that, and I enjoy doing it. And for every negative thing, there's a positive around the corner, in my opinion. So let's stay positive. Let's see what happens. League of Legends is always, I think, here to stay. It's such a big game. How the ERLs will look 5 years in the future, who knows? Who knows? And we're going to find out more information, I guess, over the next few months. Freaks for you, will they be around? How long for? We don't know. I expect them to be around for next year, but you never know. And, you know, that can really change things, can't it? A TO. So 2023, we look at 2024, there might be a different TO at that point, and suddenly things have all changed, right? We don't know what's going to happen. So let's see. Let's have, you know, I like what Ruddy are doing. There's positivity, there's good content, and yeah, onwards and upwards for the future. Zero says changing, quote unquote. Torek says, I'd love to try and lead a UK/NLC project if it fits. Always will be my home region. Yeah, it's great. I love the NLC. And like I say, don't get me wrong, if I'm moaning about UK League, I like being a part of the Nordics. I wasn't sure at first, but I did think it was like a sort of stronger together thing. But I can also hear what the likes of Don Jake say, where, you know, UK teams have lost a bit of our identity and this and that. I like being part of the NLC. I think we've got a good home in Northern Europe. It's just, you know, there's always little rooms for improvement. There's things we can do, right? And things are up in the air at the moment, so let's see. But yeah, sad to see MNM and JD XL go. Source Torok joining Ruddy confirms, the Shark person. Torok says, I love what Ruddy are doing. Isn't it going to be weird though? You know, one thing I have thought of, say Ruddy gets to Div 1, right? Say they get to Div 1 of the NLC and Don Jake is casting. That might be a bit funny, isn't it? Right? Unless they have him as a guest, they don't have him cast on the Ruddy games, or they have him as a guest caster or something like that. That might be a bit odd. We've never really had that before, a caster that owns an org. So that would be interesting to see what happens. But, you know, you have people, don't you? Trouble worked with SK Gaming and has cast some, I think, SK games in the LEC. That happens. So I don't think that's a problem, to be honest. Yeah, exactly, Shark Person, yeah. Right, I will leave it there, everyone. You've heard from me long enough. It's midnight. I want to play Elden Ring for half an hour before I go to bed, and I've got a long drive tomorrow. So yes, family stuff and all of that. And yeah, I hope anyone in and around London, please spread the word in your Discords and talking to other people. If you know people around London, especially around Liverpool Street, and they want to come to a Worlds viewing party for the grand final with Esports News UK, Predator Gaming, and a bunch of other people. I think Coach Kybet is going to be there and a few others. Please come along. All the details are on the Esports News UK website in the promoted articles section. And that's it from me. Have a lovely rest of your weekend, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. Torok, I'll make a note to DM you. Yeah, I'll see you all again soon. Have a great weekend, everyone. Cheers. See you soon.